still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Kinda check a song. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up, count it up, count it up, count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah, I just be off the dome. I never own no chrome. Too many foes and clones. Yeah, I be at home alone. I be in zones alone. I be on road alone. Yeah, I've been really in the field. Let the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Boy Smitty, man, how you going, bro?
Man, hey, listen. How can I not be going well after the drive?
What's good? It's another episode of When Enemies Clash, episode 11. We are here again today, man. We got game time. Brian, how you doing, brother?
What up? What's going on, everybody? Just living a dream here, man. Living a dream.
We got Dom. What's good, Dom?
Man, you know what's good. Anytime we can get together and chop it up, man, it's good with me.
I brought the dreaded family with me, man. So, hey, Weezy, what's happening with your food?
What's cracking, cuz? You all right? Y'all good? Everybody good?
Oh, we good, man. Perfect.
What's up?
We in the building, man. My dog called me the other day and said there's no holds bars, man. We got the gloves off. How you feeling, bro?
I just hope we have a good show, man.
And I got my co-host with me, Cole's Cowboys, man,
Good,
coming
brother.
live. How you feeling, brother?
Hey, a wonderful Sunday. We're gonna chop it up. We're gonna get some stuff off our chest. Because I know, I probably met a couple of guys on this platform, man, in the past week. I've been dropping a couple of great nuggets. What's good, King TV, man? You good, man? Ready?
Chilling, man. I'm chilling, man. I'm drinking water. I'm healthy, man. How about yourself?
Man, we good. We're gonna have a good. We're gonna aim for real. We're gonna chop it up good. Two great NFC East teams, by far the top NFC teams in the conference. A lot of stuff been going on. Training camp is right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? So we need to know what we need to know what y'all gonna bring, and y'all need to know what we gonna bring. So we gonna hash it out on here on this platform. And shout out to everybody in the comments, man. I see this. You ain't gotta throw tomatoes at me. We good. We good. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I had to put war in the middle, man. After how you been acting this week, we there's some things that got to be reconciled by you,
nigga. Oh, bro, I've been getting on my nerves, man. So, man, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna break down, late news. A lot of stuff kind of happened this week. I want to go ahead and go to the whole you know, the main subject that's been going around is this whole Dak Prescott versus Jalen Hurts conversation. It keeps coming back and reeling its ugly head. You know, like we try to, you know, respect both guys, but we got former players out here, you know, taking a little shots. You know, Terrence Williams, shout out to
Oh my Lord.
shout out to our guys in
My man
Cowboys.
said that
you know?
that Jalen's a hell of a running back.
Hey, he did, you know, but
He more than a running back, bro.
he said he was spectacular.
I'm just going by what he said. That's what he said.
No, I mean, so basically, you know, for people that probably don't know, Boss Cowboy, Law Nation, West Coast, Henny the Moore, you know, all the Cowboy content creators, they had an interview with Terrence Williams, ex, you know, wide receiver for the Cowboys. And they asked, they was like, you know, who would you take, Jalen Hurts or Dak Prescott? Now, we all knew that he was going, you know, common sense, you know. He going to take Dak. He played with Dak. You know, that's his teammate. But he did say that Jalen Hurts was spectacular, but he also said that he's more of a ground and pound quarterback. He's more of a runner. And Dak is mostly, you know, Dak is really the best of both worlds. Now, I admit, maybe they hyped him up to say that. Who knows? But, you know, I went on ahead and I did my thing. I clipped the video. I posted it on Twitter. It lit on fire. Eagles Nation, you know, the Twitter page, Eagles Nation, they look on my page for content for some reason. And it went to what's the name of that sports page? APA Sports or something like that. Basically, it blew. They turned the whole thing around as a troll to, you know, and Eagles Nation was pissed off. So if y'all heard about that, how y'all feel about that?
I'm gonna go first because I ain't said too much about it, right? But the disrespect on my quarterback is really getting out of hand, bro. Like, it's really getting to the point where, like, people ain't even looking at statistics. He just want to be on a football team, so he'll say anything at this point. But let's be real. Yeah, my quarterback ran the ball a little bit more than I would suggest any other quarterback do. But you gotta do what you gotta do in crunch time. When it's time to win games, if it's putting your feet to the ground, if you dead legging people and leave them standing still with their cleats, you know, stuck deep in the grass, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. But last year he showed y'all he could elevate as a passer. If the trajectory of what I've seen is what's coming, he's gonna show you even more this year that he's able to sling the rock. Like I understand the quarterback, running back comparison, whatever you want to say. Yeah, he had just as many as your second running back last year as far as carries. But let's think about this. 33 of those carries were 3rd and 1. Quarterback sneaks. So, I mean, and then, you know, we had the least check down rate, so you expect the guy with the least check down rate to be a lot more mobile. But yeah, man, the dude was just trying to get back on the team. Y'all should sign him just for kissing Dak ass so damn much.
Hey, he was kissing all up on that motherfucker.
He wasn't really kissing Dak's ass because he basically said that Tony was, if he had to pick a quarterback, he would go with Tony Romo.
Yeah, he said he'll pick Tony Romo.
Yeah, listen, we all know that Hurts had a great year. He threw 22 touchdowns, which is average, but what separates Jalen Hurts is his mobility. He ran 13 touchdowns in. What'll be interesting to see is if going forward this year, if teams are going to allow him to run. And listen, it could hurt the teams if you're going to spy Jalen. That could open up the outside even more, and I would expect for his passing touchdowns to increase. He's a good quarterback. Why are we worried about what Terrence Williams? He was a mediocre player at best, what he thinks. But you know how it goes. Everybody wants to hear somebody to trash one of these quarterbacks. Our quarterback, Ray Coles, has been being trashed all offseason. It's like crazy. But no, Jalen's a great quarterback, man. Yeah, he's only done it 1 year, but it was a hell of a year.
Yeah, man. You know,
I appreciate that game time. You know, that's why I'm glad you back for the second one. You kept it so real the first one.
Listen, I'm going to keep.
Cole said you was coming back. I was like, yeah, let me get brought back.
No, we ain't gonna act like I never gave Jalen Hurts his
No, we have you clipped.
I always get like
you rarely do though.
Mark, you know, I can't do it because y'all gonna clip me if I do it. So I got. I get
All
clipped
I'm
every
saying
time I
is
give you up.
Jalen really stepped up from passing in the pocket. Now,
Yeah.
again, he had 22 passing touchdowns, but all of his numbers went up. All I'll say is it did coincide with them. They have the best offensive line in the league. That's a fact. I'm not here to argue that. They went out and got A.J. Brown. So it's like no coincidence that Jalen stepped up when you have a top 3 tight end.
I mean, game time. If you think about it before that, right? It was a narrative that Jalen Hurts was bad throwing to the left side of the field, right? And I was looking at the stats from that season.
Cause he was
Weezy, wait. You want to know why he was so bad? You had Jalen Reagor lined up on the left side 72% of those snaps.
That boy right there is trash.
I wouldn't look. Listen, honest to God, truth. I wouldn't look that way either.
You can't, bro. You can't look that way when Regular over there, bro.
When you have talent and you're confident in that talent around you, you're gonna have success. It's and then you can look at this on the same token. You can look at what happened with Dak last year. He was looking at, and let's just rewind. Let's rewind at the beginning, like going into that year last year as a Cowboy fan. You had CeeDee Lamb, who wasn't a number 1 yet. We had aspirations of him being a number 1 receiver. He chose to trade Amari Cooper for next to nothing. And we went into the season with Michael Gallup coming off yet a second ACL to the same knee. And, you can name whoever, Noah Brown. That was, it was kind of sad. So Dak's numbers, it's amazing how that works, right? I'm here to say, stop comparing Jalen to Dak. They're both good quarterbacks. Jalen had an MVP runner-up season like Dak did the year prior when he had all of his weapons. Listen, man, the rubber's going to hit the road this year, and we're going to see. Jalen has a great offensive line, so I expect them to be able to run the ball. I think their running game may be better with Swift and Rashad Penny, right?
You got to stay healthy.
But now you're hearing, which I think is all smoke screens, that they're in the mix for the running back out of L.A., Las Vegas.
Josh Jacobs.
I think that's that's ridiculous. Why would you want him? You already got a crowded backfield, but I don't know. I mean, you hearing the same thing I'm hearing?
I don't know.
I wouldn't mind Josh Jacobs.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but who are we giving up? And
that's what I mean.
Who's going to be left in the running back room? Because you got to clear out that running back room. Josh Jacobs is one of those cowbell backs. You got to give him some carries. He's not coming here.
2 racks, man. He ran 2 racks.
Yeah, he's not coming to be a committee.
But getting back to Jalen, it'll be interesting to see. I find it funny. Everybody's complaining about his quarterback sneaks, yet they tried to overturn or make a rule that you can't do it, and they said no, we're going to allow it. Stop it.
If you don't need to take it off.
Stop it.
This is football, not rugby.
Yeah, stop it.
I know, man.
Football, not rugby. You know
so what, man? How you know, bro? Come on, man. Come on.
For that, by the way, man. We got
rugby,
but hey, we gonna get there. It's a lot to unwrap, and I just don't want us to get lost in the sauce. We need training camp is right around the corner. Training camp is right.
Wait. I'm sorry to cut you off, good brother. You're not just gonna skip over me like that, brother.
I was just gonna say so. I was gonna let him finish and then be like, hold on, let's go back real quick.
Because I knew it's coming.
You scared 3 people. Cole, you ain't let Dom respond to nothing.
Well, I was trying to pivot that way.
Go ahead, King.
I posted on Twitter. I posted on my bold predictions for my team. This ain't nothing about the Cowboys. Nothing about the Cowboys at all, right? And then here come all the Cowboys fans, Cole's Cowboys included. Oh, this. I'm saving this because when this don't go that way, then they're talking a whole lot of trash. Then they start comparing Dak Prescott to Jalen Hurts. Now, I was going to come in here and just rant and everything, but I'm not. I'm just going to say what I think that Terrence Williams should have said. Now, Dak Prescott is a decent quarterback. He's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong, he is. Dak Prescott knows how to put the ball on the money. He does do that. I watched some film, and I also went back and watched some of y'all games. Here's the thing, though, about y'all. I don't think that y'all understand what I think we're more mad about Dak Prescott not succeeding than y'all. I think that's what it is. Jalen Hurts, yes, he did have 22 passing touchdowns. Yes, he did have 13 rushing touchdowns. He had an MVP runner-up, to see what the Cowboys fans do, man. It just hurt it. They give you a compliment and then do something like slick right in there, man. Yeah, but you had a runner-up. Yeah, he was a runner-up. Yes, we were Super Bowl losers. Yes, but he does have an NFC championship under his belt. Yes. Y'all say, oh, he didn't have to do too much in the playoffs. I'm not even talking about the season. I'm talking about the playoffs. But when it was time for him to show up, he showed up, number one. Number two, the game plan was always run the ball first. That opened up the offense. That was all year. It was not like he had to go out there and sling the rock because they stopped the run. They couldn't stop it. The Giants couldn't stop our running backs at all. When we got to the 49ers, they couldn't stop us. But it was only but so long that we was going to get handled. And look what happened in the Super Bowl. So to compare going back to Jalen Hurts and Dak, I don't think that that's a good comparison. But it's easy for us to get defensive because when you compare somebody that actually went there, regardless if y'all say that, oh, he had an offensive line and he had A.J. Brown, these guys were injury prone. The first year Jalen Hurts was in the league, he was about to be Taysom Hill. We had him lined up like that. So you can't even count that year. Second year, yes, we had rookie coaches. As soon as those rookie coaches flipped the script and say run the ball, and we ran the damn ball, that's all we were doing. So yes, you cannot compare passing yards to Jalen Hurts. But what you can compare is leadership. You can compare leadership. And there's times when, Kellen Moore or whoever your coach is at the time. I can't even say enough about Mike McCarthy yet, but I know his track record. It's times where you sit up there and think like, okay, why isn't Dak there yet to put y'all in certain situations? Why is he being greedy? He's being greedy. He's trying to play hero ball. And hey, I watch analysts talk about this. He's trying to play hero ball. I agree with you guys, you, boss, and everything, that all the interceptions is not his fault. I agree, but to a certain extent, y'all gotta stop giving him a cop-out. And y'all start holding him accountable for certain things that happens in games. You can't just say, oh, well, Kellen Moore, he's out. Kellen Moore is out. Brian said, Dave Tom Bryant just said, Amari Cooper is out. What do you think happened there? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to start holding him accountable. I'm not saying that he's a bad quarterback, but when you start comparing him to Jalen Hurts, you got to hold your horses for a minute because Jalen Hurts did something last year that
he had 1 year. Yeah, he had one good year. Exactly, and nobody's taking anything away from Jalen Hurts. He had one good year.
They go that slick talk. That's that slick talk. He had one good
there's
year.
No slick talk.
Right.
It's on record. It's on record that prior to the season, it's on record that Howie the Messiah Roseman, had a deal in place for Russell Wilson. That's how much they were not sold on Jalen Hurts this time last year. They had a deal in place, and Russell said, "No, I'm not going to Philly." He ended up going to Denver.
You're trashed anyway.
All I'm saying is, nothing against Jalen Hurts. He had an MVP runner-up season. There's no shame in losing it to our guy in Kansas City, Patty Mahomes. There's no shame. He had a great year. All we're saying is it coincides with Howie Roseman going out and making the A.J. Brown trade. Everything fell into every move they made. Hassan Reddick. Football's a team game. You talk to any MVP they will tell you that they couldn't have done it without their teammates. If you know what I mean? But I'm not here to take anything away from Jalen Hurts. I'm telling you, Eagles themselves were not sold on him this time last year. He went on and had a great year. Now he has a new contract. He has the expectations. Everything comes along with it now. Now just winning games isn't enough. Now it's you better have stats too. So it'll be interesting to see. Jalen Hurts with a first place schedule, right? Last year he had a easy schedule. Everybody said he had one of the easiest schedules in the league. Now we all know in here that you play who you play. So as a Cowboy, fan, you're looking at it to where Dak the year prior had 4,500 yards passing and 35 touchdowns and like 11 INTs. He lost the runner-up too. He was a runner-up in the MVP race. Years change, everything fell in place. You should have won the Super Bowl. I will say he does have the National League ring. The Eagles represented the NFC in the Super Bowl. So as of now, Jalen Hurts is on top of the mountain, in front, on top of everybody, and Dak is underneath him. I can't argue that. Coles can't argue it. He could say he don't like Jalen or whatever, but right now, Jalen is the man, and that's how this league works. Now, after this year, if Dallas has a huge year and gets to the Super Bowl and Dak regains his form, now everybody's going to say, well, Dak's better than Jalen. We all know they're both good. That's just my stance.
Yeah.
So
you were doing so well. You were doing so well. The Cowboys. What's going on in the Super Bowl?
Hold on, TDB. I want Dom to respond to what you had said. I want to know what's on his mind because I
this
see
is what enemies clash. This is what
I want to see what he got. Let's see what Dom.
Yeah.
So I mean, of course, as a Cowboys fan, I got to go through history lane since we got to dust off our Super Bowl trophies.
I'm tired of talking about that, Dom,
and
I'm gonna let you go.
No, I'm not even gonna go back to the rings, but I'm saying you got to use history to help with context when you're talking about both quarterbacks and how you argue for or against either. So when you look at a Dak Prescott as a rookie in 2016, Dallas did something that was very difficult, which was have an all-rookie backfield make it into the playoffs and do well, and really should have won that playoff game, but the bad man himself, Aaron Rodgers, stole that away. That was a good team for Dallas, led by a Dak Prescott. Coming out of that season, the national media praised Dak for coming in, taking control, having great leadership. Some of the same stuff you hear about Hurts and the good things that you hear about him, we heard that about Dak. Moving into 2017, his second year, then it all of a sudden became about statistics. Well, it's dink and dunk, Dak. He can't, throw the deep ball. Well, then you saw Dak then do that. Same thing people said about Hurts, his first real year last year as a quarterback. We want to see more deep throws. The same arguments about our guy is the same thing y'all are going to get about your guy. Then it became, well, Dak will never get over 30 touchdowns. Then he obliterated that and only had 6 interceptions or so. So the accuracy was never a problem for Dak. Getting the statistics are not the issue now. Then he had an anomaly of a year this past year, throwing interceptions, leading the NFL in that department and playing fewer games than the guy he tied with. We know that that's an issue. So true Cowboys fans do hold him accountable. We know that 8 of those 15 interceptions were on him. The other 7 were balls that should have been catchable, and yet the offensive receiver either, tipped it up or something went awry. They didn't run the right route, whatever it may be. So we hold him accountable. Then
especially in the
you put that money. Yeah, you put that money on top of it too, where he got his deal. Now you have all of these expectations, and y'all are about to get a taste of that from the national media and other fan bases.
That's a good
about
point,
Hurts. Now, for us though,
good point.
For us though, Jalen Hurts is a consummate pro. This boy been doing this stuff since he was in high school. Nobody can ever go back and say anything about his leadership skills. Mm-hmm. The only thing that I personally want to see as a fan of the game and a fan of the man himself, just not a fan of the team he's playing for, is I need to see consistency from year to year. He's got the 1 year under his belt, and the trajectory is there for sure. but we've seen quarterbacks come in this league and take it by storm for short amount of time. Maybe it's a 6-game window, a 16-game window, even a 2-year split. Go look at Mark Sanchez, the 2 AFC championships
RG3, man.
he was able to help his team get to. RG3.
Yeah.
Y'all have a guy that was pitted up against Dak, who was an unheralded guy who wasn't heavily touted, didn't have the pedigree being a 4th round. Y'all got Wentz in that same draft, and it was Dak versus Wentz. Wentz had all of the tools, had the look. He even had his MVP-like season until he got hurt, and it was, crowning him extremely soon. But yet there was none of that kind of love for Dak to ever, reach the elite status according to everybody. So I was sitting back looking at the Wentz Dak argument going, y'all crowning Wentz a little too soon. I need to see multiple years of consistency. And really, by the time a quarterback is able to get into that second contract, you pretty much know what you have in that guy. So for Dak, for him to shut anybody up, it's not even going to be an NFC East championship. That's not what teams like Dallas and fans like y'all from Philly even want. You don't want that NFC championship. Yes, you got to get there and win it in order to get a Super Bowl, but ultimately we all want Super Bowls. So for Dak, the only way he's going to get the monkey off his back if he wins and get that ring to shut all doubters up. But he's going to have to clean up his quarterback play, take less risk. And we're hoping with the new offensive system that they're putting into place, he can be able to do that. But me, personally, I'm a fan of Hurts. I love what he brings to the table. I think he's going to get even better this year. Now, y'all's record may not reflect that. And I always say this to people, don't look at records, because sometimes, from year to year, you can't continue that success record-wise from one year to the next. But is your team better to win down the stretch and win when it matters? So it's going to be hard for you guys to replicate a 13-4 record. It's going to be hard for Dallas for 3 years in a row now to be able to get
14-3. 14-3, Don.
Yeah, y'all 14-3. Got it. So yeah, it's going to be hard to get 14 wins. Even for Dallas, it's going to be hard for us to get the 12 like we had the last 2 years. I was looking at some statistics from since 2016 when Dak entered the league. And for teams to get 12 wins, extremely hard. 80% of the league can't get to that number. And so in y'all's history, you've done a 12-win back-to-back only once in your history. In that midst of y'all going to the 4 NFC championships and making it to the Super Bowl. Dallas has done it twice now in their history, getting 12 wins back-to-back. So whenever we look at these schedules and we talk about our predictions, it's going to be easy for people in the chat to be like, yeah, Eagles, we're going to, run this thing back. Or Dallas, yeah, we're going to run this thing back. We're both going to have, teams with 12, 13, 14 wins. But, man, I'm going to have to tell you, everybody to caution, because it is hard to win games. The error margin is slim. And it's really going to, I think, with our two teams, it's going to come down to health.
Yeah, that's
100%, man. 100%.
This is the season of optimism. You know how it is. Right now, everybody thinks they're going, and the Eagles have just as much talent as anybody. So I'm not sitting there saying don't be. If I'm the Eagle fan, I'm flexing.
Oh, yeah.
You have every right to flex.
They should.
We're just, we're kind of hold on to, okay, there hasn't been a team since 2003 win a division back-to-back.
Right.
Yeah, there hasn't been a team since New England who lost the Super Bowl and was able to make it back to the Super Bowl. We're holding on to stuff. But right now, Eagles are getting all the love. Now, just real quick with the Jalen Hurts, I really like the kid. Off the field, man, what he did going back to college, shout out to him. He went and got his degree. He has generational wealth. He'll never have to work another day in his life, yet he still did that. That tells you something about it. And it's funny because Eagles fans and Dallas fans go at it and say, oh, our guy's better than your guy. Your guy's only done it for 1 year.
It's going to be going on until week 9. It's going to be crazy.
These guys everybody forgets CD and Jalen played together in college. Dak and Jalen are about as tight as you can get for quarterbacks off the field. But I understand how it goes. That's just, and I think the media, the mainstream media, gets everybody in a frenzy, and it is what it is. The fact of the matter is, Eagles have had more success than the Cowboys in recent years. As a older guy who remembers the 90s, my kid don't remember the 90s. As far as he knows, he's a Cowboy fan. He hasn't seen them win squat, so it's like, it's time to do it. I'm sure Coles is tired of looking back and saying, we've been to 8 and we won 5. Well, no, nobody cares about that. Right now, the Eagles are on top of the hill, and the Cowboys have to beat them. We're just trying to point out that it's been 1 year. Maybe slow down a little bit. Dom brought up like a bunch of quarterbacks that I go back to RG3. Just remember that first year that he came in. He was on the scene. He was on the cover of Madden. He was beating our butts on Thanksgiving. You would have thought that he was going to be in the league for 10 years and win multiple MVPs. Didn't happen. The only thing I worry about with Hurts is his health, because he relies on the run. He does. What makes him special is his legs. And what's the one thing, and I'm not going to rant any longer, but that's the only thing as an Eagle fan, because you saw what happened. As good as you guys were last year, when he was out, you lost. It was glaring. You needed him in the lineup, and they need to be able to run the ball more.
No,
they need to be able to run the ball more.
Well, before Weezy go, right? Let's put some context behind RG3. First off, they ran the man in the ground. The man was averaging 100 plus. He wasn't even big. So RG3 already isn't big. He's running 100 plus times a season. And then he said out his own mouth, his biggest mistake was not telling them to change the offense, to not step up and be like, hey, I could throw the ball too. No, Shanahan came in and said, look, I got this new offense that I want to run. We're going to see how good it runs. And then they just kept running it. Like, you can't, like, I understand, like, Hurts had one season, right? But the 2-5 season that turned into 9-8, that was a great season. For him to be able to step into the locker room with Shane Steichen and Nick Sirianni and say, look, I think we need to change the offense so we can be more productive. Like, yeah, y'all named Mark Sanchez and
Sanchez.
Sanchez was a good quarterback, but he had a lot of glaring weaknesses that Rex Ryan was able to subside with great defense. Like, he didn't have, if you look at his numbers, being in those 2 AFC championship games, he was subpar. He was very subpar. Yeah, but he was able to problem. That's what I was going to say. He was able to not throw interceptions, but then after those 2 seasons, he started having
he was butt fumble, wasn't he?
Butt fumble. So like, I feel like Jalen Hurts, the only reason I feel like his trajectory is up is because his mentality as a and people don't want to say this. Jalen Hurts didn't have his first quarterback coach until he got to Oklahoma. That's something significant. That every quarterback that's great, you can look at that quarterback coach and say, well, he was a good quarterback coach. He was able to develop him. He was able to see him progress. When you don't have a quarterback coach, you got a guy that's just running the offense. You don't get that one-on-one time to work on fundamentals and mechanics. That's why we're seeing the progression year to year that we are seeing from Jalen Hurts. And I hope Brian Johnson moving out of that quarterback coaching position doesn't affect what we had moving last year, because everything in a certain place is how the chess pieces get you checkmate. So when you move certain things out of the way, it starts to get a little blurry, because Brian Johnson and Shane Steichen together were yin and yang. They were able to, hey, I know Jalen Hurts. Okay, I know the offense. Let's work together, to put the best game plan on the field every Sunday. That might be a problem.
The funny thing about Brian Johnson, his Jalen's father coached him in high school. Brian Johnson was a quarterback. So it's just, they know each other, so that's good for Jalen that he has a voice that he's familiar with. I don't know. I will trust you that Shane Steichen and Brian were on the same page. I don't know that, but I take your word for it. I think that's not going to be much of an issue.
That's that's what Dak came out and said, that him, Jalen Hurts, and Shane Steichen signing the game plan every week together.
Yeah, I would say this. I think the biggest hurdle for Jalen Hurts is going to be, you know how it goes. They're not going to let the middle. Now, he could still break contain and kill a team. His legs, the one thing about Jalen, he's not a big guy, but his legs, are like huge. I mean, he deadlifts a lot. You know what I mean? His legs are what he has a great foundation. But I don't think teams are going to let him run up the A and B gap like he did. They were so worried about the outside. Now, this is not necessarily a bad thing, is what I'm getting to for Jalen. I'm not here to suck up to Jalen, but this is what he needs. He doesn't need 10 QB draws a game. He don't need that, because where he's going to get in trouble in this league. You're going to have years where he goes off, and then you're going to have years where he misses 8 games because he's on the sideline. You need him to stay in the pocket, have a threat, but you need to, because if they're worried about Jalen and we're going to put an extra guy just spying Jalen, what does that mean for Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown?
At game time, if you look at the stats, our first and second down last year was horrible. Really, like passing the ball, like we really wasn't passing because we was trying to set up the run so much.
Better.
I think that's what I was going to say. Now we didn't trust Miles. That was the whole problem. First and second down, Miles was on the field. We wasn't throwing the ball to Miles.
Period. It's going to be interesting. Listen, they're so talented. They're going to have success regardless of schedule. But it's just going to be good, because I'm going to maintain that everybody is saying Niners. Now, Niners, they're the Cowboys' kryptonite. They are. Now, I don't think, honestly, if us Cowboys fans, and I don't know, we're not really hearing about the chat. We haven't really touched on them, but if we really thought about it, do we think we were going to go in without Tony Pollard and beat the Eagles? Now, I live here. They were not overly excited about playing Dallas. They were happy to play the Niners. And hey, listen, if Reddick knocked Purdy out, and they were off the races. I don't know, man. I think we were in trouble anyway after Pollard got hurt. This year is different, man. I think that we're very deep. I think it's going to come down to old-fashioned Eagles-Cowboys. It's just where, Dom had said, who's going to be healthy? I don't even think it matters who wins the division. It's who's healthy at the end of the year, playing good going into the playoffs. And then the real football minds are going to know that let's see how these quarterbacks play, and they're both good quarterbacks. Jalen is higher now. That's just how this league works until he comes back and Dak has a big year or somebody else. That's just the way it is, man. We know it, but the fans get caught up in all this other, what. But I think it's coming down to these two guys. So we're going to be talking about this all year.
All right, Weezy, get in here, Weezy. Let me see what you're talking about, man. We want to see your opinion.
Oh.
Yeah,
I don't know,
talking up
look,
too much, man. I'll shut up.
it's all right.
You're good, game time. Keep it real. We like it.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't
man.
like quiet air, so if I don't hear nothing, I'm gonna get in there.
Man, I don't know. I just feel like Dak definitely got turned down the turnovers, bro. He definitely got to cut down on them things. All of them were his fault. All of them were his fault. But look, man, that was a whole bunch of them that were his fault, cuz. And Dak is a good quarterback, man. I ain't trying to sit up here and say he ain't, but I'm just gonna roll with Jalen Hurts all day, man. It just is what it is, man. Both of them got high ceilings. Dak Prescott, hey, look, the way y'all did Zeke though is terrible, bro. Y'all ran that man to the dirt, didn't get him a Super Bowl. Now he just out with no job.
Yeah, what I would tell you,
we Zeke dirty.
Y'all did him dirty because y'all.
They paid him decently.
They did. Oh yeah. I forgot. Y'all gave him that cheese, man. But
Zeke pocketed $70 million.
Jesus Christ!
You can retire right now.
You're right. That's why he ain't with y'all.
Zeke ain't hammering Dallas. He gonna love Jerry Jones for years and years. Do I like the fact? Do I like the fact that he's not?
Damn,
y'all gonna miss that.
70 million. That is crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah, he can retire right now.
You see what's going on with Dalvin Cook. You see what's going on with Saquon. Now Saquon has been injured as long as Dalvin, but I got news for you: the running back position, you're gonna get beat up. So I'm excited to go with a system in Dallas where we're not going to give a guy 25 times a game. That's the way to go. The Eagles are right. Listen, we could sit here and criticize Howie all we want. They've had a philosophy not to pay a second contract to running backs for years. But anyway, I'll shut up. Go ahead, boys.
Dom, I got a question.
No, man, you good.
We can stick to that running back because I got some breaking news for that while we on that subject.
Hold on. I got a question for Dom real quick. Wait.
Oh my Lord, what the hell was that?
Hold on, wait. We're gonna get back to that. Dom, I got a question. You seem like you into the stats. What will your offense really be missing with Zeke not being in the backfield this year? And you having to rely on a Ronald Jones, right? Let's see, I got Ronald Jones and what's the rookie? Deuce Vaughn.
We got Malik Davis as well.
Malik Davis, Deuce Vaughn, Tony Pollard. You don't really know what Tony Pollard is right now yet till he touched the ball against.
Right. I'm going to sound very blasphemous and sound like a hater of a guy that I respect so much, and Ezekiel Elliott, because what he did in that first 4 years was phenomenal.
Man, he was a killer, bro. I hate that bastard.
Yeah, which is why he was supposed to, which is why he made all that money. And I think, all time money wise, he is the highest paid running back in the history of the league. And getting actual dollars and from just playing. But then when you look at being a Dallas Cowboy and then what that brings to you marketing wise, we don't even know how much money he's made marketing. And for the rest of his life, he's going to be able to put that former Dallas Cowboy star attached to his name and make even more money. Zeke is going to be set. Fans who really are supporters of the team still love them some Zeke. But the last 2 years should have been completely Tony Pollard's team. And Pollard was the perfect teammate and not wanting to, be too loud, put anything out in the media to really show his frustrations, because those two were pretty good friends and still are friends. But from a performance standpoint, we're not going to miss much from Zeke when it comes to toting the actual rock. What you're going to miss from Zeke is the leader that he was in the clubhouse. What you're going to miss is performance on the field as far as being a run blocker, but you can get other running backs to be able to produce in the backfield to be able to help block. A lot of his success was, and the Cowboys fans are even saying that, it's like you're going to need him for the short yardage. He got 10 touchdowns last year. 9 of them were for 2 yards and less, 1 and 2 yards. So it's like, look at Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard has better contact balance. He has the better speed. He has more broken tackles than Dak. He can pick up those same dirty yards and do an even better job at doing that. So in the league today, you don't need that workhorse. You don't need that bell cow like you had mentioned earlier. You really need a good tandem. And if you have a trio, that's even better. And what it looks like Dallas is going to be able to utilize is having a trio of backs this year. So we're looking forward to being able to see it. Anybody that's ever followed me, I've always longed for Dallas to get more of a diminutive type running back. Me being a former offensive lineman, I love what the running backs were smaller, where they had quick feet, they could hit the hole and do their thing. And so Deuce Vaughn being able to bring that to the team is going to be nice for us. Now, Ronald Jones, how much does he still have in the tank? If you look at just his yards per carry over his career, and even going back in the college,
4.4,
the guy can pick up yards. And so,
no doubt,
yeah, if you're getting that 4.4 average in the league, that's a success on each down that you run that ball. But truly, Dallas isn't going to miss the actual production of Dak as much as people would be led to believe.
Yep, I agree with that. Damn. We got some breaking news today, man.
Yeah.
God.
With Tony Pollard, they, as we expected, he'll stay on that franchise tag. The running backs the Cowboys are not gonna do what they did with Zeke. Man. They're not gonna make that mistake anymore. So this could be, this is Tony Pollard's last year with us.
And I'm not trying to be negative, but when we were going into this process, I was on board with drafting a running back and not keeping either one of them. I love Zeke, but I just thought it was time because I want to re-sign CD. I want to re-sign Micah. I want to get these guys in the fold. I want to re-sign Diggs. I want to re-sign Terrence Steele, which us Cowboy fans know they're in negotiations now. These are all good things. That's why we have so much money under the cap. A lot of that is going to go to them.
At game time, did he sign his tender already?
Who, Pollard?
Yes.
He signed it right away. Right away, Smitty. He signed it. Why?
He didn't have much leverage. He was injured too.
Well, that too. But you see the landscape.
Had to sign.
Weezy said that they did him wrong. Now, we established that he's going to send Jerry a Christmas card for the rest of Jerry's life. Jerry's 80 already, so he may not.
That was before you said he got paid y'all paid him $70 million. That was before I knew that.
Well, I don't know if it was quite. It was over 60 some. So even
Jesus,
but he's pocketed that, and Dallas. You know how Dallas a lot of times will bargain against themselves. Sometimes they outthink themselves, and that's what they did. It wasn't a bad thing. Zeke wasn't the reason why we lost. He's just lost his explosiveness. Why? Because Weezy said it. We ran his ass into the ground.
You ran him to the dirt. 300 carries a season.
Philosophy.
300 plus carries a season, bro.
And
I'm
now
surprised
everybody's
Derrick
saying,
Henry not in the same dirt.
Yeah, now everybody's saying, well, Dak, he's turning 30. He feels the urgency. Well, guys, just take a minute. His best friend in life is only 28 years old and is no longer on the team.
That's bad too, bro.
Leg injury that he has to have prehab all year round. It's not like this is a joke. He has a bolt in his leg. He has to. Everybody makes fun of him when he does that pre-routine before each game. That's the kind of Dak needs to be fundamental. Dak was never he was a bulldozer, but he needed to have everything in line. He's not a guy who can, when everything fails, he could just sling it.
No, he ain't playing his game. That's not his game.
What I mean? He needs to have his fundamentals. He needs his base under him. So Dak, he's urgent. He sees
how you think Dak gonna feel without Zeke for the first season though? For his first time, you know what I mean?
When he's handing the ball to,
I think that's gonna be weird for him.
It's gonna be weird, but I think see, that's what's fun. See, Coles and Dom, like the one thing we have going for us this year, and I said this to Mark Holmes earlier today, and he's a little tired from working on the red brick house. But what I was telling him is that we're going to have an advantage early on in this year. Now, teams aren't going to really know how we're going to use Deuce Vaughn. They're really not going to know who's going to be the starter.
It's a new system. It's a new way.
Who's going to be the main guy? I got news for you. Ronald Jones may, if I had to put money on it today, probably won't make the team. But, he will. But we've seen Ronald Jones. You guys know much about Malik Davis? I know a lot about Malik Davis. Malik Davis is good.
Yeah, Malik Davis is nice. Y'all should have played him more last year in that 49ers game.
Exactly.
I'm more than y'all pray.
They Pollard got hurt. They should have went with Malik. But it is what it is.
They should have played Malik in the season for him to be able to
prepare for
the big lights of the playoff game.
I'm just happy to have multiple.
They had to keep giving it to Zeke.
Right.
I got news for you. The Eagles running back last year, he would scare the hell out of me. Miles Sanders. He would.
Miles Sanders.
I loved him and the other guy. What's the other dude's name?
Kenny Gainwell.
Kenny Gainwell.
Gainwell, man.
That's what makes, to me, that's what I liked about what the Eagles were doing. Now you can move the pieces around. Now you got DeAndre Swift and Rashad Penny behind that offensive line. I'm not here to I'm just stating the facts. That doesn't mean that we're going to hand you over the ring at the start of the season. You guys still have to do it, So, but offensively, there's nobody. I don't think there's anybody better than the Eagles.
Brian, though, but Brian, they might as well get that Hurts jersey, take off the number 1, and add the conjunction "it's hurts," like it hurts. And then give those jerseys to both of those running backs, because week after week they probably gonna be like trading that jersey.
Well,
those two can stay healthy.
This is the deal.
Man.
As
Kenny
Cowboys fans,
beast.
we get everybody's best game, right? It doesn't matter if we're playing Jacksonville and they stink, or if we're playing the Cardinals, or if we're playing a new Houston Texans. Remember that their first game as a franchise, they beat us on prime time. I mean, come on. Everybody wants to beat the Cowboys. Now the Eagles have the bullseye. Let me tell you this right now, if the Eagles win the Super Bowl this year, if they even get back to the Super Bowl this year, I will be unbelievably impressed, because that's how hard it is to do. It just is. You got the bullseye. You're not gonna. Everybody wants to beat the Eagles now. Everybody's being told now. You're gonna have like the Dallas syndrome. You're gonna go into the worst, team in the league, and that's gonna be their Super Bowl beating the Eagles.
I'm just gonna say. I'm gonna say this, Brian. I'm gonna say this, Brian. And we can go by history. The Eagles. They have a lot to worry about, because they got that bullseye on their back. They playing the number 1 schedule. They playing some. We all are playing some dogs. We playing. But y'all playing the Chiefs. The 49ers, you think the 49ers are ready for y'all? The 49ers are ready for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I got y'all
full story, bro.
Man, when it comes to that. Y'all still crying about the Chiefs. Y'all still crying about that Super Bowl game.
Whoa. No, we ain't. No, we not. We're crying. What are you talking about, bro?
Y'all going to Arrowhead, where it's damn near hard as hell to win there. So y'all don't have the advantage of Eagles Nation, because Eagles Nation ain't taking over Arrowhead. Y'all can cancel that. So I see a lot.
It's gonna be half of it gonna be filled with Eagles fans. You better believe that.
Not. Y'all been to Kansas City?
First of all, bro. First of all, nobody's complaining about the Chiefs beating us. We're complaining on how it went down with our team. That's number one.
What are y'all going to do?
We're not talking about the Chiefs and how they won and things like that. We're talking about if we give them their props. They outcoached us.
Kumbaya.
Oh my Lord.
Listen, I'm going to make it quick. They lost because you guys couldn't stop them.
No, we got outcoached. That's what I'm saying. We got outcoached, number 1. Number 2.
Period.
Yeah, y'all did. Yeah. And Patrick,
if y'all sit up there and think, that Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles are not going to run this thing back, y'all really think that's not going to happen?
Yeah.
If you think
everything is against you guys now.
No, please don't say that. Please don't say that, because what we do have no. See the difference between listen between the Cowboys right now, the Cowboys and the Eagles, right? So what happens is, listen, the Cowboys and the Eagles, right? What happens is when the Cowboys got the keys, they don't finish. They don't even get to the Super Bowl. They don't get to the championship.
I'm not arguing that at all. We haven't finished in a long time.
Recently, they did it both times. So what I'm saying is, you cannot sit up there and compare these two organizations right now, because my GM, you can't. We had similar line from last year to the year before, right? So the difference is health. That's all that changed.
Man.
It's a comment that just went by. It said everybody say the Eagles got to make it to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs got to make it back too.
Yep.
But the Chiefs have shown that they can go back to the Super Bowl. Y'all and win it.
They lost. They went back and lost too.
And win it, by the way. But they came back and won. See,
no, they lost. The Bucks put a beating on them. Remember that?
Years to win. It'll take y'all another 57 years to win the Super Bowl.
It's crazy how it's so much hate when Jalen Hurts make that leap. then why we not talk about more about Patrick Mahomes not doing well in bowl games? Why we not talking about getting carried? Joe Burrow. We're not talking about those things. We're talking about Jalen Hurts.
Joe Burrow got carried?
Bro, we
look at the stats. Go look at the stats.
I'm not going to get into it.
People expect us to freaking apologize for having weapons, bro. You cannot apologize for having weapons, bro. How's that our fault we got weapons? I don't understand that either.
Jalen Hurts is put on a pedestal now. I think everybody loves Jalen Hurts. We're just
now
it's not about him being put on the pedestal. It's about knowing what he brings to our team. That's what I'm talking about. What he brings to our team. Yeah, you can talk about.
Go ahead.
All right. I'm listening.
Now, all I see, listen, we keep getting brought into this conversation. If the Eagles fans should just say Dallas is irrelevant until you win something, I would respect that more than saying my guy had a good year, so we're going to trash Dak. Dak did, that's all I was ever saying. Right now, you look at every NFL insider, they say Jalen Hurts is a top 3 quarterback. So he's not getting crapped on by anybody because we're not saying you're going to win it and we're not going to play the season. No, that's not the case. He is. After last year, he is a top echelon QB. What we're saying is people who've watched the game for a long time is, at least I am, is he's going to have to play a first place schedule. He's not going to be running up the middle as much. I want to see what he does. You know how it works, man. Dak had to go through the same thing. Dak came out as a rookie and lit it up. I don't know. I think he won like 10 games in a row as a rookie. And then what happened? After that big year, the NFL adjusted to the way he was playing and how everything was being called. That's what's going to happen this offseason. So now Shane Steichen's gone. So what is Brian Johnson and what is Jalen Hurts going to do? Because teams are not going to play them the same. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And it's going to be fun and exciting to watch as a Cowboy fan. And I'm sure you guys are thinking he's going to do better than he did last year. That's y'all up. Nobody's saying he's not good.
All right, I'm gonna let Dom go. Then I got a question for you.
Go ahead, Dom.
I got a question for Dom.
What I'm also most interested in seeing, because it's going to happen at some point in his career, because Jalen Hurts, I believe, is going to play a lengthy career in this league. What's going to happen whenever a lot of people are saying he had a top receiving core, he had the best offensive line in the league. Then that defense was loaded, stacked. The coaches were all great. All of the conditions around him were good. And I know y'all probably have already heard this argument, but I want to see when it happens, even though he's got all this leadership and stuff about him, these skills, what's going to happen when he really faces that true, welcome to the league type moment or adversity where it's, a consistent kind of a thing. So, for example,
I was just going to ask for an example.
He already did in the Giants game in the playoffs.
No. I don't.
That was terrible, bro.
I don't mean like a moment of time. I'm talking about what if Mel Latta and Lane Johnson both.
Oh yeah. Oh my Jesus!
You got to rely on.
Not gonna do it, man.
We already went through something similar like that. We already went through something like that. I'm just letting you know.
No, you have not.
Hey, hold on, Dom. Wait before you say no. We haven't. 2021. We had the most change in the offensive line in the league. We had the most change in the offensive line in the league.
We made the playoffs, bro.
We made the playoffs. That was like the last seed, and y'all didn't.
I don't care. Adversity. He said, "How does he come against adversity?"
I know. He went to.
Hold on.
Let him finish. Go ahead.
Not even let me finish.
Let him finish.
Let him go, man.
We're talking about a Jalen Hurts right now at this point in his career, where he's now being anointed and crowned as one of the upper echelon quarterbacks, and y'all are ready to go. If y'all make it to the divisional round and lose, y'all gonna see that as a major disappointment. If he put together the next 3 to 4 seasons and y'all don't get back to that NFC championship, that's going to be a disappointment to you guys as fans. And what I'm saying is, if that offensive line then plays musical chairs this upcoming season, where you're having to take a guy who is really going to be your starting offensive guard, move him out to left tackle, then take a guy who shouldn't have even been on the team, should have been a practice squad guy, and move him over to your right tackle, then go get a 41-year-old guy off the street to then come and having 3 different starters on the offensive line with this current iteration of the Eagles. And then, A.J. Brown went down. Your top tight end went down. When you face that kind of like just ultimate disruption of your offensive firepower, I want to see what is that going to look like now.
So you comparing us?
He gonna take it on the chin like a G. Pause.
You saying what the Rams went through, basically?
Yeah, any type of true adversity now with the expectations that come with Jalen Hurts. 21, there was 0 expectations on Jalen Hurts that first year he truly got to have a full season under his belt. There was nothing. This past year's success is going to heap a whole lot of expectations on him from you guys as fans, from the media, from even the organization, and even himself. He's going to expect more. So what happens when that adversity hits? And so it could hit this season. I don't wish injury upon anybody. It's just why I go back to say health is going to be a major thing when it comes down to the final stretch. Y'all lost Lane for a little bit. He had his issues, but he still was able to come back and play. A 70% Lane is better than, heck, almost all but the top 3 other right tackles in the league. Y'all got your guy Kelsey at center. He's coming back. Dude is the best center in the league, arguably. Mailata, probably one of the best left tackles.
So you're saying no excuses, right, Dom?
Neither of our teams are going to have any excuses. Y'all receiver core looks good. Our receiver core looks
cares
good.
About excuses.
Your running backs look good. Our tight ends are young. They're promising. We got a top 10 offensive line. Y'all got the best offensive line. You got a top 3 quarterback, according to some of your fans. A top 5, 7 guy in my eyes is Hurts. We got a top 10 quarterback in Dak. Y'all got your coordinator, like that whole situation straightened out now. You got a lot of hope and pride in him. We feel the same thing about giving the keys over to McCarthy and letting more go. We want to see some consistency in the run game. Neither one of our team's offenses have a legit excuse right now until the adversity comes with health. And to me, it's all about down the stretch. Who's ever the least healthy team, it's going to come up and rear its ugly head, because that's what happened to Dallas last year in that game against the 49ers. Yes, Dak had his 2 blunders of an interceptions in the first half. That took easy 3 points away from us and gave them another 3 points. So it was a 6-point swing. And that game was then done when Tony Pollard went down. We only had Lamb. That was it. Like, no other wide receiver could have stepped up. No tight end was able to step up. The running backs behind him couldn't do anything. Our offensive line was a mess. Tyron looked awful at right tackle. We had a guy who should have been the left tackle to begin with. It was a mess for us. The offense was not good at all at that point in the year, which is why I say be careful, because with all these expectations, if y'all have the health issues, then it's going to impact that offense of y'all's quite a bit.
Dom, the scenario you gave me, though,
bro.
The scenario you
we
gave
were
me.
going to be on Dak Hurts watch the whole show. I knew
Hold on, wait. The scenario you gave me.
I knew it.
It's almost the worst scenario for any quarterback in the league. You lost your tackle.
That's what Dak went through last year.
You said I lost basically my whole offensive line, all my receivers, and my running back. I've never seen Dak go through that.
Hey,
Dak
did
last year.
No,
I don't want to go. Nobody felt sorry for us when Dak broke his thumb on his throwing hand. Nobody felt sorry for us when Tyron Smith tore his hamstring off the bone.
Who did y'all lose in 2020? Who did y'all lose?
We lost our whole offensive line.
Yeah.
The whole offensive line.
Let's walk through it. Hold on, game.
Like we had an injury book like a mug.
Yeah. So,
injuries are part of the game, man.
Yeah.
That's just it.
So last year we drafted Tyler Smith out of Tulsa to be our left guard to start out his career. Had him in training camp. He was doing his thing. It was looking good.
Tyron blew
And
a
then Tyron
tire.
Smith, our left tackle, all-world guy, literally the muscle came off of his bone, and he still walked off the field and didn't play early season. He came back late in the year, but we had to take our rookie, who was going to be left guard, and put him at left tackle, which then started a whole chain reaction. Then we went and got y'all's guy who was on the street, who's going to be a Hall of Fame, Peters.
Yeah. Speaking of 41-year-old people, y'all grabbed that 41-year-old guy and got him up.
That's why I said it. That's why I said it.
And he was average at best.
Hold on. Yeah, he was done. Yeah. So at the same time, we had our left tackle go down in Tyron Smith. Then our right tackle, who was killing it, Terrence Steele. We were one of the better rushing teams in the league.
We lost our center.
And then all of a sudden,
Steele cold, bro.
All of a sudden, Steele went down with an ACL injury.
We lost Biotis, remember, with a high ankle.
We had to put y'all's guy in at right tackle. Then he got injured. Then we had to move in Matt Willetsko for a little bit. Then Biotis got hurt a little bit.
Yeah,
our left guard got hurt again a little bit. Like Dallas had musical chairs on the offensive line. Then to say Dak Prescott went down for 5 games and he never returned and really
y'all were
like
4-0
himself.
I don't want to hear that.
Bro, we had to play musical chairs for that old man forever, bro. For me,
that's why I think this is a slippery slope, guys. We talk about injuries.
But listen, okay, we talked enough about the guys. How do y'all feel about D-Hop signing with the Titans today?
Yeah, that's what I want to get.
It ain't gonna mean shit, man.
I'm glad y'all didn't get him.
I'm glad he got another contract, man. I'm glad he got some money. That's
all he wanted.
Yeah, that's fine, man. He don't want to win because he went to Tennessee.
I ain't gonna lie.
Anytime it is what it is, man.
I got no. He ain't gonna win no championship.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Because I remember a certain podcast, I Am Athlete, when he was now. Let me pivot first. He was riding the D real hard in March. Pause. And when I mean the D, I mean the
please.
Pause.
Please do that.
He was riding Dallas. He was riding Dallas so hard. He was riding Dallas hard in March. Then he go to a podcast because this Jones won't even look at his direction. That's how bad he was, how desperate he was. You know what I'm saying? So then he won't go on the podcast, and Brandon Marshall throw out Dak's name. He don't know nothing about Dak Prescott. He named it. These are his words. He wants to win. He wants to be an organization that has a front office, that has a quarterback that loves the game. All this. But all of a sudden, you with what? Ryan Tannehill? Tennessee Titans let's not forget, y'all fleece the Tennessee Titans for A.J. Brown. Does that sound like a good front office?
I think they were trying to make up for that. Honest to God, truth,
bro.
That's what I thought.
He wanted to be the number one guy, bro. He wanted to be the number one guy. Plain and simple, bro.
No, he wasn't doing that. Wheezy. The reason they pay him more money is they new GM is still feeling the ramifications of AJ Brown coming in there and smashing them up.
How much they give him?
Beats down. 2 years, $26 million.
Oh my Lord, boy, he's not gonna win no championship there, bro. I'm from Tennessee, bro. He ain't gonna win no championship. No,
that ain't gonna happen, man.
Yeah, I think it was a situation where he kind of was out there. He was looking for the best suitor, and it came down to who was gonna get the most money. I don't think it really mattered about championship contender. He want to continue his career at a high level, making money. I mean, nobody wants to get out here and do it for free. James Bradbury said it last year out his own mouth, but then he came back for a team-friendly deal. D-Hop going to them, it could help. You know what I'm saying? It could help their younger receiver that they just drafted. It could help him get more targets and be more open, because D-Hop does become a threat when he's on the field. He has had a lot of injury history the last few years. When he's on the field, the guys around him get a lot of one-on-ones. They get a lot of those targets. I think if Tannehill can be the guy we seen about 2 years ago when they went to the AFC Championship, I think D-Hop is in a great situation. I still don't see them winning the championship because the AFC is rough. It's a lot going on over there. You know what I'm saying? We play the AFC East this year, which is to me the most loaded of the AFC right now as far as all teams combined. And he went to a division where it's kind of weak. You know what I'm saying? He's going against the Jags, the Texans. You know, he's going against the Colts, Tennessee. He has an opportunity to be in the playoffs for sure. The thing is he going to get the production he wants out of Tannehill throwing him the ball? Can Tannehill really sling the rock? And I haven't seen it out of Tannehill with any receiver he had, even A.J. Brown.
No más.
So if he can't step it up, then D-Hop just signed for $13 million a year to just be on the team.
It's nasty work, man, but at least he got his bread, man, you know.
Hey, game time. How you feel about Stephon Gilmore?
Come on, man. Stephon Gilmore, he's not what he once was, but he's a defensive player of the year.
Hell yeah.
He could do nothing but help. You know,
no doubt.
I think a team like the Eagles are going to do what they're going to do. But how this is going to separate us is, okay, I think there's a lot of pressure on Bland to come back and he had a great rookie year with 5 INTs. He only played in like 10 games. So to me, that's where it's going to be. I think that Gilmore is going to do what he's going to do. I think Diggs is going to do what he's going to do. It's just going to be harder for teams. I think if teams want to beat Dallas, they need to run to the edges. I don't think you're going to be able to run up the middle as you once did. You really couldn't do it last year as much, but teams ran to our edges, and that's where I think our biggest issue is going to be with the Cowboys is staying disciplined and holding the edge and stopping the run when teams want to go outside, because that's what a lot of teams were doing against us. When they had success, they were hitting the edges. But I think Gilmore is – how could we argue with what he is? Yeah, he can only help.
One of the teams I follow closely are the Colts outside of the Cowboys. The Colts will be number 2. And yeah, Gilmore isn't what he once was, but he brings what Cowboys fans live
OG man
for.
Yeah.
A guy that's going to be, you know, Dallas in the last decade has had a solid cornerback 1, like that top cornerback. But we've always had an issue with cornerback 2 opposite of that guy. So we've been, as fans, wanting the team to bring in a guy who's a true professional. Bring in a veteran who still has something left in the tank. So if that guy is challenged, even if he gives up a big play or whatever it may be, you erase that from your mind because you've been there, done that. You know, in the league, as Deion Sanders says, if you play cornerback long enough, you're going to get beat. That's just the nature of
part of the game.
Position. Yeah. I mean, cornerback is probably the hardest position on the field because you having to do all types of movement skills while moving backwards, and you're going against the arguably best athlete. So what we were able to do by now bringing in a Gilmore and allowing a young guy like Bland to really go back to the inside to do what he does best, and then you allow Jordan Lewis, who a lot of people seem to be forgetting in these debates.
Nobody talking about him.
Yeah, that's going to give Dallas 4 solid cornerbacks.
Y'all still got Malik Hooker
at any point. You need, Hooker is a safety.
Man,
so
that's what I'm saying.
Defense for Dallas is going to be
when you look
solid.
into it, Dallas's defense got better, and they were already really good. So that's why I keep reiterating. We're going back and forth that it's going to come down to what Dom said, and I don't like bringing up injuries as an excuse, but it's just a fact. Listen, if the Eagles suffer, and I don't wish this because I don't want to beat I want to beat a team at their best. That's just how I've been. That's how I've always been. I'll kind of have one eye open if we beat you without Jalen Hurts or without Lane Johnson. I want to see us stay healthy, but we all know that's not how the game works. Your camp starts in less than 2 weeks. We're going to be at work doing what we're doing, getting an alert that somebody blew a knee on the side doing something in a non-contract, like a non-contact, drill. That's just the way it is. So who's deeper? Who's healthy going into the playoffs? Who makes a move to replace somebody? It's just unfortunately, guys, that's what's going to happen. And that's why each year is a different year. There is carryover, yes, but man, the Eagles have had a lot of change on defense. Not that it's not saying that you guys can't do it, but it's yet to be seen, right? It's all on paper.
Yeah, we got a lot of rookies.
Like
that's
Jordan
Davis, damn sure.
His potential is through the roof, but it's on paper. Carter, I had him as my number one player in the draft. He slipped to 10 for a reason. On paper, that's going to be good. But it has to play out, which is actually, as a Cowboy fan, I like that storyline every year. Every year, it's a new group of guys. There's usually 20, 30% turnover on your team. You don't realize that until you look back at a team 3 and 4 years down the road. You go, oh, my God, almost everybody's gone other than usually your quarterback, a receiver, and maybe a D lineman and a corner or something. Every year is different. How are these young guys going to step in Philly and you pick up the pieces where they left off? Now, where you left off was the Super Bowl. That's where I'm getting at. The sky's the limit for you guys, but now you got to actually do the work in the preseason. You got to stay healthy.
It's gonna come.
You got to go into the year being everybody's number one target. And if you get to the end, win or lose in a Super Bowl, then I'll kneel before Zod and say, bravo, because it don't happen often like that. That's what's fun, man. I'm ready to roll. Are you guys ready to roll or what?
Yeah. So this year in 2023, man, the NFC East will face off against the AFC East. I want to get an opinion of, the teams that y'all feel, could give you a little shake in the AFC East, and how can y'all defeat those teams?
That's the hardest division for me to break down. I don't know about you guys. Go ahead. What do you guys think of that?
DV, I'm gonna start with you, bro. What team in the AFC East gives you a little shake, and what can we do to obliterate them? Pretty much. Let's put it that way.
So the Patriots is, that week 1 game, that's going to be a tricky one. Just like last season, man, we was in the dog fight, honestly, with the Detroit Lions. They were coming off of that hype, being on HBO, things like that. They was hype around that coach, gave them a lot of confidence, and it showed. With this Patriots now, we know that, Tom Brady is going to retire his jersey before or during the game. And that's going to give them confidence, to be in the game. I'm not saying that we're going to lose that game. I'm just saying it's one of those tricky ones.
You blow the doors off, but it's tricky.
We're looking to do that. We're looking to, control the game from start to finish. But like I said, it's going to be a tricky one. So I don't have nothing. We should win that game. As far as the Bills, I think our running game should be able to beat the Bills with our defense. I think that we got younger, touching on the rookies and the defensive changes that we did make. We did get younger. It's going to give, that opportunity, especially after the bye week, to see where we are, So I don't see us losing to the Bills either. I think that, we can cause a lot of turnovers against them, especially with Josh Allen, because a lot of people I'm going to say something out of a Cowboys content creator book that I heard, basically. Everybody's talking about Dakota, but nobody's talking about him at all, Josh Allen. And that's just crazy. It's crazy. So I do see us beating the Bills. So that's 2-0. The Jets did have us losing to the Jets before, but after I seen the offensive line, there might be a win, but we might squeak that one. That's going to be one of those, early.
You've never lost to the Jets.
Test. Right.
You're undefeated against the Jets lifetime.
Yep.
Right. And it all depends.
Don't get me wrong. I think that's a tough game.
Of Jets. It is. So I think we can beat the Jets, and then the Dolphins. We just gotta stop their speed, man. That's all we gotta do. And it's all going to buckle down to the defense of Sean Desai and how he's play calling it against Tyreek Hill and Waddle. And then Tua, you got to see if he's going to be on his game or not. We don't know what we're going to get out of him this season either. So I do got us either 3 or 1 are sweeping the AFC East. It's not going to be a cakewalk though. It's really not.
Coles?
Yeah, as far as the AFC East, you already know how I feel, man. I believe, since we playing the Jets week 2, they still trying to get themselves together. Their offensive line stinks. Our defense is the only reason why I say we'll win that game. We'll still be struggling offensively, but defensively, I just think they not up to par on offense. I believe, Aaron Rodgers is him. He has our number, but I believe that particular game, I think we'll have his number. I think our defense will be ready for the challenge. So I got us beating them. As far as the Patriots, I know we're going to beat them. The 2 teams I am skeptical about is Buffalo and Miami, only because we're playing there. We're not, I think we played them like both in December. That's a hard stretch because I believe we play the Bills first, then we go to Miami the next week. So that's going to be kind of a struggle to us. I don't know how, to be honest, we might lose those 2 games. So I say we probably split it 2-2.
Yeah, late season. Talking about late season. Christmas Eve is against Miami. So you go from cold to hot. That's going to be a challenge. Wow. And it's in that stretch of the year where, y'all have y'all's unique stretch too at the end, near the end, and we have a similar one as well. So I think the key to it is just looking at our entire schedule. Of the top 10 teams my top 10 teams moving into this year, of the 10, we play 6 of them. Y'all are included in that 6, and we play y'all twice. So that's 7 of our 17 games against the league's best. But we play the majority of those on the road. So it's going to be a big test for Dallas. To me, the Aaron Rodgers game against the Jets is going to be key because, like Cole said, he has Dallas's number. He's like 7-3 against Dallas all time, which is coincidentally the same record that Dak is against the Philadelphia Eagles in his career. 8-3. Just saying,
oh my Lord,
both of them, but that's gonna be a
facts though,
sure. But
that don't get you a ring, but that's fact.
So I think Coles is right. 2-2 is probably the minimum. 3-1, if you get that, you feel quite successful. If you go 4-0 in that stretch, then you cooking with peanut oil. But to me, the most difficult game,
that's nice.
The most concerning game for me, other than playing y'all, of course, for 2 games, is it's all about San Francisco. Like, if we can't get San Francisco with the quarterback issue being what it is right now for them, then it's like, y'all just got our number. It's a bad matchup, and hopefully I don't see you in the playoffs type thing. So if we can get over that hump, and by, getting them here during the regular season, then we're going to be in for, a heartache, because that's going to probably signal that we're definitely going to drop in our overall record compared to what we've been experiencing the last couple of years.
Weezy, jump in here.
Bro, week 1, man, when we play the Patriots, I want to see how we come out, man. Week 1. How we come out in week 1, bro, is pause. How we come, week 1, man, it's going to determine a whole bunch, man. That first game.
Wait.
That's away.
Foxborough. You go to Foxborough.
That makes it a little bit more interesting.
And it's Tom Brady night. It's Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's what DV said. That's what I'm saying, man. DV said,
that's
Tom Brady gonna be here and all that crap.
Not to cut Weezy off, and you can continue, but I will say, I'm not big on the Patriots, but give Belichick multiple weeks to scheme for one game. I would expect it to be close, if nothing else. But anyway,
I pray he pull a bunny out of his hat, because man,
he's a good coach when it comes to that.
I hope he put that blueprint out again.
I need y'all to lose that game, because y'all got a good stretch in the beginning of the first.
Yeah, bro. And the Dolphins, because, bro, we always have problems against the Dolphins, because every game, bro, I hate playing against them, man. The Dolphins, and they got all the speed now.
Just hit,
bro. Jalen Waddle, bro. Jesus.
I mean, he'll be.
That's the Dolphins in week 1 to me, bro. And that's the Cowboys, period, man. Because, we almost just like evenly matched teams, man, to tell you the truth. We just got a lot of rookies on defense, man.
Definitely.
And the defense, bro, look, we lost Javon Hargrave, man. It's like 11 and a half sacks. Somebody gotta replace that shit, dog. Like,
why do you think,
man?
Yeah, the Cox had a resurgent year last year because
I know,
Hargrave
right?
was
Hargrave was there,
right
man.
next to him.
Yeah, Cox didn't have to do shit. Pause. But
but that's why I was saying earlier that the sky's the limit for the Eagles, but there are a lot of questions to be. Like, some people act like there's no questions. Just because you're talented, right? A young, talented player doesn't mean it's going to happen when you want to happen. Jordan Davis, it may take him another year.
Yep.
I'm not saying it's true, but it's going to be fun to let it play out, is what I keep saying. You know, let's watch. You know, let's see what happens. If they do all click this year, we all in trouble. But is it? But anyway, go ahead.
I don't know. With Nolan Smith running that 4-3, man.
I know, and he's an undersized guy. But
he coming off that edge with a son, bro.
Yep.
Bro, it just
the potential's there.
The Dolphins, bro. I hate playing against the Dolphins, man. We always got problems against them. When they came back and beat us, bro, when we had Wentz and shit, bro, that shit was embarrassing right there. It just week 1, how we come out of week 1, bro. You're gonna tell the whole season to me, bro. And Bradbury and Juju, that little bullshit. Come on, man. Bradbury, come on with it, man. I want him to. You need to come on with it, cuz.
That contract, he might be a little fat, man. He might be you know.
He better not be
playing
fat.
for one last year. These are just games within the game, you know.
We'll see.
What you think though, Gang Time? It's on you.
All right, listen. I like what both you guys are saying, Dom and you, Coles, with the Cowboys. Honestly, you have to look at time and place when we play these teams. You have to. You have to look at who you play. Before. That's just the way the NFL is. But looking at the Dallas, schedule, we play the Jets week 2, and at home. You guys, I'm sure remember just last year. We were up in Lambeau Field. We had a 23-point lead, and Kellen Moore decided to keep throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Right? We had a 23-point lead. Mike McCarthy was doing an Irish jig on the sideline, finally getting the monkey off his back when, like the Undertaker, coming from the dead, Aaron Rodgers sliced your throat at the end of the game. We ain't losing to the Jets week 2. You could book it. You could bet like whatever you want. They're going to pick up Mike McCarthy in that game. And I'm telling you now, I will own up if I'm wrong. We ain't losing that game at home week 2 with the Jets and a new offense. They don't play a lot of preseason. They're going to.
I don't see y'all losing that game either.
Mark my words. You're going to hear all preseason how good that Aaron Rodgers looks. Aaron Rodgers is slicing and dicing. Aaron Rodgers of all. He looks rejuvenated against 7-on-7s, not taking any hits, not going against the Eagles or the Cowboy defense. Dallas ain't losing that game. So they're winning that game. Book it. Now, the next game that we play is also at home against New England. We ain't losing that game either. At home against New England, I don't like the New England quarterback. We're playing them early. That's 2-0. But that's where the rubber hits the road. We play in Buffalo December 17th. Unless the Buffalo has major injuries, we've never played well in Buffalo. We ain't winning that game. That doesn't mean anything going forward, but that's a big fat L. We ain't winning that game.
It's hard to see it. It's hard to see it.
But our record in Miami is very good, and we're not playing Miami in the first month of the season where it's ridiculously hot. We're playing Miami 4:25 on Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
we're winning that game.
Yep.
Okay, I could see it being close and losing a close game, but if you're asking me today, we're beating Miami. Tua by then, I don't even know who's the backup for Miami. Do we know? That's what you got to look at because Tua probably ain't gonna be around.
All right, they got Mike White. They got the
Mike
dude from
White.
Jets.
We ain't losing
damn.
the
He had
ex-Cowboy.
flashes, but he ain't gonna.
Yeah,
do
he flashed. That's it. He did. Yeah, he ain't it. Let's put it that way. So I expect us to go 3-1. I like that schedule. If we go into Buffalo and win, hey, great. But I would not think that we're going to win in Buffalo. You know how it works, guys. The schedule is what it is. You have to look at the schedule. That doesn't mean that we're not as good as Buffalo at that place. You got to remember, we played the Eagles the game before. Okay, we play home against the Eagles, right? So that's going to be, in prime time, 8:20. Then we're going to go to Buffalo and win? Nah, we're going to get shellacked in that game. So
I'll be so shocked if we win, man. Like
3-1, no, 3-1.
Yeah. So the odds makers has us losing both of those.
So the Eagles, we play Patriots week 1. I'm not petrified of them at all. The energy in the building might be a little bit shaky to start the game, but I think we crank it up, after the first 2 drives or so, and get it right. I'm not too scared of the Jets either. I know how Aaron Rodgers plays when he's getting his feet up under him. We seen it last year when he was trying to really get acclimated to his weapons. He was really poorish at first. He didn't start turning it on until later in the season when did
they play the Jets?
We played the Jets week 6.
All right, so it's still relatively early.
Bro, we're gonna take them out, bro.
But the problem for me, game time, is the fact that we, just like y'all, we play the Jets in New York, then we turn around and the Dolphins come play us right behind that. So I don't want it to get caught into an emotional game if we do beat the Jets and then the Dolphins come in with all that speed.
Though, man, the good teams know how to handle that emotion.
Right.
That's why that's a good call. I like that schedule though. I don't think it's too bad.
I think the first half of our schedule, people aren't really looking at it, but it's kind of in the favor of the Eagles. We start with the Patriots.
Time.
Then we got the Vikings and the Bucks.
They're gonna landslide in the beginning.
The Commanders,
we're
the Rams.
Be looking up at you guys like last year. That's the thing. Here's the thing, though, guys. If the Eagles aren't 5-0 or 5-1, then it's your schedule gets brutal. So then it's like
I gotta rack up on wins.
You better rack up on wins, and I'm not being negative. You need to win these games because the schedule gets harder. And I'm not saying you're going to lose games just because, you play 3 straight on the road. I think you do. Right? I think you did. Maybe you don't.
Yeah. We got I know what stretch you're talking about. We play the Rams. We play 2, and then the Dolphins come to us.
Yeah.
But it's But look, it's across country. We in LA, and then the next week we in New York.
So I would say, as an Eagle fan, you want to get rolling early and pick up. You don't want to have any major injuries early. Yeah. Every team is going to have to go over a period of time without a player. That's like Dak last year. We still won 12. And like you guys said, we ended up, going 4-0 without Dak. Now it was with smoke and mirrors. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But I do got us sweeping the AFC East.
So you got them sweeping. So that would be impressive.
That ain't gonna happen, man.
Listen, I got us losing to Kansas City though, so that's why I got us sweeping the AFC East.
Smoking Kansas City.
I think y'all gonna lose.
I don't even. Hey, look, game time.
We can beat Kansas City, bro.
You know how that works.
I don't care about beating them in the season, man. That don't give my
I know, but that's how it is.
We're
gonna blow the Niners' doors off in the regular season, and then we're gonna play them in the playoffs. And
that don't give me no appreciation to beat them in week 15. I don't care. Week 10, whatever.
I'm seeing y'all lose week 9.
I want to beat them.
Y'all gonna go by week. Y'all gonna lose.
Leave your bias off the schedule, Cole. Let's just not even. Just don't even bring up Dallas. We're gonna leave those games out of it because you're gonna be biased and lie.
How do y'all play after?
Odds are they split. That's just the way it is.
You say what?
How do y'all usually play after a bye week? If I'm not mistaken, last year
we won. We won coming off the bye.
Y'all won against the Texans, but y'all was risky. They came out there and they was ready.
Yeah,
that's why I got us losing that Kansas City game.
We're struggling against the Texans, bro. They're running all over us, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
I think what we should
okay,
do.
Okay, I take it back. Y'all, the Bills go to y'all, so that'll be.
I think what we should do after this preseason is revisit and everybody do their final schedule. I did a prediction a month and a half ago, just saying Eagles and Dallas both have 11 wins. Now I got lit up saying, "Well, we're going to win more than 11." Well, listen, I'm just early. I was leaning more towards negative, and I don't know who's going to win the division. I have the Giants right behind us, and I have Washington. I think I had Washington at 7. We're going to revisit it. Let's let the preseason play out. I called it 2 months ago. I think it's going to come down to Eagles and Dallas, barring major injury.
I would love to see y'all in the championship game. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I would love to play the Eagles in the championship game.
NFC championship game, Dallas versus Eagles, like that.
You know what that would do for everybody here? It would make everybody's YouTube channels.
But where you want the game to be? You want it to be in Dallas?
So that's what you want.
I gotta be in Philly though. It gotta be.
In Philly.
Yeah. You don't want to go to Dallas.
Yeah, I ain't coming to sit in. I ain't coming to sit in AT&T Stadium.
You know,
if we play y'all in the championship game, I am going to the game. I cannot.
Gotta go.
Dallas, man.
Gotta go to that.
No, it got to be in Philly. It got to. But no,
I live a half hour from the link. I was there yesterday. There ain't no way in hell I'm going to that game unless I got with me.
I know it's nobody here to defend themselves, but you got everybody here probably in consensus has Washington as the last dying breed. Does anybody here with a tinge of hope see them as a threat next year?
No.
Just
look at their schedule. Look at their schedule when you get a chance and really.
Even though they took us out.
Won't be able, they have to really fight to catch up with the division.
Sam Howell is going to run into a situation where, just like Brock Purdy. Now, Brock Purdy is better, but he's coming off of freaking Tommy John. He's going to run into a situation where now you're going to be game planned for. He was a mystery. He was a mystery item last year. He beat us. We didn't show up for the game. We really didn't need the game. It was, you know what I mean? Yeah. We really didn't. It was locked in. Everybody's
the funny thing for me, Game Time, is every quarterback that's popped up on the list with them having so many questions of Sam Howell, they're already immediately coming out like, "Oh, we're off the train." Like, you telling me you didn't want Aaron Rodgers, you didn't want Lamar Jackson. You didn't try to get Russell Wilson. You didn't try to get Deshaun Watson. What are you really doing as an organization? Like, Dan Snyder was an idiot.
They were going through a sale. They weren't.
Yeah, Dan Snyder was an idiot. But at the same time, Cole, you be with me. They be talking crazy. Like, they talking about 13, 14 win season, like Super Bowl run. Like,
they got the nerve to talk about Dak Prescott. I'm like, out of the whole division, y'all can't talk about him. Y'all can't talk about that. Y'all you need to worry about your own family. Y'all need to worry about your own quarterback. And I'm glad that they beat us week 18 because we gave them hope for the off season.
They beat us too.
You know what I'm saying?
They got us.
They should have. Yeah, but they're in the playoffs. If they start Eyebrows, if they start Heineke, they're in the playoffs.
But this is the thing about them. This is what's so.
Look, you see what Angela said? That'd be funny. Parody.
Yeah. Hey, they ain't gonna win.
Angelica, if that happens,
they ain't gonna win.
Can't do it.
But I think it's the same thing last year, trying to convince themselves on Carson Wentz when we all told them Carson Wentz ain't it. They had to learn the hard way. Now they over here trying to glorify. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw my guy pop in talking about Uncle Sam.
Listen,
come on now.
Dom said it earlier, and this is a situation that the Washington. Now he wasn't talking about the Commanders, but this is a situation where Washington is going to be a better team. They're going to have more talent, but they're not going to have the wins that they had last year. That doesn't mean that they're not going in the right direction. They're just not going to they're going to win 7 games. That's it. Book it, lock it. They're not winning any more than 7. Look at their schedule. We could pull it up if you want. We could go through it, but I don't see any Commander fans in here pumping their chest. So I don't know that we have to, but we can if you want to.
I just want to warn, man. You can't chalk any of these games because the Eagles suffered 3 losses last year in the regular season, and and one of those were to the Commanders. Conditions of the game or whatever it may be, you never know. Similar thing might happen to your roster. They crept up. No matter what Cowboys fans say, we had something to play for. It wasn't like we just gave the game up and we just played, a bunch of scrubs from the jump all the way through the end of the game. We played our starters, and they punched us in the mouth. The Commanders have something that most fans would want their team to have, and that is a solid defense. And that interior defense, the defensive line that they have, is arguably the best in the entire league. They got nice bookends there. I mean, you just can't say, Commanders are nothing. Now, winning the division, absolutely not, because they don't have what they truly need
Bijan
at that quarterback. And overall on that, the offensive line is so porous. So they have one of the league's worst offensive lines.
And
so
they
once
got
they
Sam Howell.
Get that worked in, well, you just never know what Howell might turn out to be.
He's okay.
None of us would have thought Hurts was going to be what he is right now.
It's Sam Howell. Yeah, I know.
It took some time. So you just got to let the career of Howell play out. But we all can't sit here and just think, that's 2 easy wins, because for us,
I'm not saying they're going to.
Nobody has. I'm just saying, but we can't do that, because they do have a pretty solid.
We are going to sweep them.
Dom, I think their energy is going to be up with this new ownership. A lot of things I'm listening to these Commander fans talk about is, what's coming to the team, what's coming to the city, like what's going to bring fans. Like, to me, that's a lot of their downfall. Like, I haven't been to Washington Stadium, but I've talked to people that's been to Washington Stadium, and they're like, every time I go, the home team is lackadaisical, and the away team is taking over the stadium.
Yep.
So, like, I don't know what Sam Howell is gonna be. Like, I'm a Florida State fan, so I watched him a lot in college, but he never popped off for me. He never really showed me he was the guy. Like Dak Prescott, people could say, oh, he was a late pick.
He was always a leader.
But when I watched him at Mississippi State, I could tell, like, okay, he's gonna be a decent quarterback when he gets to the league.
They're never ranked.
But UNC is a place where I don't know if I believe 100%. Just the same way I felt about Carson Wentz coming out of a little school. I just didn't 100% buy in, because I really didn't know it takes culture to build certain players. You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't know if Washington has that culture yet, and I don't know if Sam Howell is going to be able to bring it out with his play. I think Tyler Heineke leaving that team and then replacing him with Jacoby Brissett is not going to be a good look. Tyler Heineke got them through a lot of games last year, and he got them some wins that they probably shouldn't have got because of his energy. You know what I'm saying? So I could see Sam Howell coming in with that lack of energy and not playing as well with confidence. He could blow that team, but I could also see him coming in and having a spark and getting them 7, 8, maybe even, a 9-win season, because we know they haven't had an 11-win season, I don't think, in their existence. But I think this year is going to be a find out for the Commanders. I don't think they're going to be, top of the division or anything like that. But I think they're going to find out what they really have in the room, because they have the receivers, they have the running back. I think they have some offensive line issues. And like Dom said, they have a dominant defense. Last year, a lot of the games they won was because the defense was able to stand up and keep them in those games. But that game they got us with, they kept us off the field. And then when we were on the field, they 3-and-out us a lot. They were able to stop us a lot. You know what I'm saying? They were able to, get a lot of pressure in. They were able to, move the ball effectively. So if they could keep their game plan with Eric Bieniemy coming in, I don't know how much their offense is going to change, but Eric Bieniemy isn't a slouch. He's been on 2 Super Bowl winning teams.
Damn, I forgot they got him, man.
And if Eagle fans don't want to admit it, he played for us. Eric Bieniemy was an Eagle. Yep. So with all respect, I mean, he could change some things. And then the ownership, that changes things when you see people effectively trying to build a team, trying to bring in pieces, trying to get to the point where you were at years ago. You know what I'm saying? And that could be a small thing or a big thing, but I haven't seen many teams go from worst to first.
Right. Just real quick, I have to go over their schedule because I do live in South Jersey, and I've been to a few Commanders games over the last few years, and they talk a lot of junk in that stadium, though. But just let's break down their schedule real fast. Okay, they open up at home against Arizona. Okay, they're 1-0, right? Then they're at Denver. That's a loss. They're home against Buffalo.
Depends on what we get out of Russell. If he looked like last year, Russell, that might be a dub.
Oh yeah, but
In
you said
Denver,
And ain't even
From
just
everything
Russell,
I'm
man.
hearing-
That offensive unit for
was that
Denver was poor.
hold on? They fired that guy, right? They fired. He's in,
Yeah, they got him
he's
up
in
out
New
of there.
York.
Peyton now.
He's in New York, right?
They're not losing at home to the Commanders.
The,
And then they have to go
their
to
old offensive
Buffalo.
coordinator is in the Jets, right? He's with Aaron Rodgers, Nathaniel Hackett.
Yes.
hey, the Commanders took us out at home.
No, but it's in. Well, yeah,
It's
but
in
you know
Denver,
that.
but-
But you're an Eagle. You know how that is. That's always
That's a division rival. It's a whole different game.
then
Yeah.
like to go to. Then they're home against Buffalo. Buffalo's going to smack them around, and then they're at Philly. The Philly's going to smack them around. So
Yeah.
okay, after the first four, you're 1-3. Okay, and then you're home against Chicago. Okay, that's not
Sure.
that easy on a Monday night. All right, that's
They about
tough,
evenly
man.
matched, to be honest.
And then at Atlanta, and then at New York. Okay, you're going to say they're going to split. So, all right, we'll give them 3 wins up until now. Then they play Philly. Philly's going to beat them. So they still got 3. And then you're at New England. You're not going to.
Nah, Regina, he'll be right back. He'll be right back. He stepped away for just a second.
And then you're at Seattle. You're not going to beat Seattle. Okay, so we'll give them a win at home against the Giants. So that's 4. Then you're at Dallas on Thanksgiving. You're losing. Then you're home against Miami. Are you telling me that they're going to beat Miami? Okay, if there's no Tua, maybe that's 5. And then they're at the Rams and then at the Jets. So let's say they split. That's 6, and I'm being optimistic. Then they play, the Niners. They're losing to the Niners. So they still got 6 wins. And then they, the last game of the year, they play Dallas. Whether Dallas needs it or not, I'm going to win. That's where I come up with 7 wins.
Hey, listen to DV. Listening to Game Time. They might as well just tank for Caleb.
That's what I'm trying to say. When you look into the schedule, like Dom is right. They're, this is a situation where I think they're going to be a lot better team, but their record may not show it. That's all. If you look at their schedule, man, it's not easy.
No, they got a tough.
That's
DV,
a
how you
tough
feel about
schedule.
how you feel about the Commanders, DV?
Now
They'll
I'm
be
hearing
in
the
4th
schedule.
place.
4th place.
That's it. That's it.
They're too
I
low.
ain't got
He
really
don't
much to say.
concern himself with
I got
that.
them 4th place too. There's no argument
have
here.
Beep, beep, Giants, Commanders.
He ain't got the first 2 away. He got.
I don't know, man.
You know,
Right
it's
now,
Eagles Cowboys. It's July
whoever's
game
healthy,
time.
man. I'm
It's
sorry.
July. July.
It's that close.
A lot of things transpire during July and February.
Yeah, that's why I said we'll revisit it.
No, but it's interesting because I think to be honest, I know we went over the AFC East, but y'all tell me if I'm wrong. I think the biggest question mark of the 2023-2024 season is Tua's health. Is he going to survive a season?
Yeah.
I think if he get another concussion, he's out the league.
Yeah, he gonna be out, bro. Bowser
big.
might retire.
Don, what you
Big.
feel? Don look like he want to say something. What you feel? I
Yeah,
think
Don.
Tua's
I know, right?
injury is the biggest question going into this season for all the NFL.
Concussions is bad, bro.
You're right. Right.
I seen the man doing gang signs on the field.
Yeah, man. So we spent about 40 minutes talking about Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott. What the media, what fans have said about both of them, showering praise on them when they did well,
He's talking
and
about
skeptical and all that. But Tua is a quarterback that's been more polarizing than even our 2 quarterbacks, and a lot of people haven't given him his due praise. Whenever this last season, you look at him on deep routes, passes over 20 yards. He was the most accurate quarterback in all of the NFL, and it wasn't even close. But
But it was an 8-game sample size too, Don. 8 games, though.
But still, whenever they do those statistics, they do a minimum amount of passes.
Yeah.
There are people who fall below that threshold. So when you look at him, he was completing, I think it was like 49% of passes over 20 yards. That's because he do have great weapons. So, but still, you got to get it there. And so for him, I think he's a solid quarterback in this league, but like Weezy talking about, that health is the main concern. And being a guy that is as small as he is, you see he's put on a lot of weight. I don't know if it's good weight. The images that I've seen of Tua is like, who is that? Did he eat himself?
Lion rolls, man.
Like, man, boy got thick.
Oh yeah,
Boy got thick. So I don't know. I just don't know if that body can really hold up. And looking at the Cowboys when we play them, being later in the season, that might be like an advantage for Dallas. Unfortunately, to use those words, because that's a guy who wouldn't be playing us. And then we get like a Aaron Rodgers week 2, whenever he's not gotten it all together with his new team. So that might be advantage Dallas, plus we're at home. But yeah, Tua, one of the better quarterbacks in the league. It's just all about health. And I think you nailed it, Smitty. His health is going to determine the way the league goes in that AFC, especially.
Yeah. Hey, let's do a little check-in, because all of us, we went over the AFC East, right? I mean, how everybody time looking? Y'all want to go over the NFC West?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Go a little longer.
Okay. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into this because we all play the NFC West with the Rams, 49ers, Seahawks, and Cardinals. And we all agree.
So what do we want to touch on now?
Yeah, I mean, hey, you can go around the room. We can all the Cardinals gonna be dogs like the whole entire season. So,
well, I got us going 3-1 against the NFC West right now. I got us beating the 49ers. I got us beating the Cardinals. I got us beating the Rams. I got Seattle actually beating us just because I feel like they got so much better. But after listening to some people, Geno Smith might be a flash in the pan. Listen, Weezy, okay, you want me to break it down for real? They went and got the best wide receiver in the draft in Jackson Smith and Jigba when they already had 2 studs in DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. They went and added they went and got Zach Charbonnet to shore up this running back room with McIntosh from Georgia. They shored up their offensive line last year. Then they brought in Bobby Wagner with the defense they already had. Jamal Adams coming back. They got young corners. Like, they're in a position, and they brought in D tackle help where they was weak at last year. I think Bobby Wagner is a big piece for them to restore some of this culture that Seattle has been lacking for 2 years. Geno Smith is the biggest question mark.
Looking at
still Geno Smith.
Yeah, looking at it, you're going to beat the Rams. You play them October 8th. So I mean, what was your record?
I got us 3-1. 3-1.
All right, yeah, you're going to beat the Rams. Let's go down. Then you take a while. Then you're home against Frisco. That's a revenge game. I like you to win that one. So you're going to beat San Fran at Seattle. I agree with you. You got to remember, you guys.
We haven't beat Seattle in Seattle in a long time.
After a
right.
Dallas game in prime time.
You sure have, man.
On the road. So that's a loss.
Damn, it's prime time?
Yeah. Yeah, Dallas. Damn. Yeah, you played December 10th in a Big D. I don't know if that's a Sunday or a Monday, but it's a prime time. Let me look at it.
I'll be there. It's a Sunday night game. I'll be at there.
Yeah. So, it is what it is, right? So I think you're going to – that's a tough one.
Damn.
And then you're going to end up at home. The second to the last game, you beat Arizona. So, I think that's going to come down to you sweeping the Cowboys in order to get 3-1 against the, you know what I mean? I just don't see you beating Dallas and Seattle. So what do you want to do? I think it's more important that you come to Big D and win and then take the L in Seattle. So I like you. I could see you doing that 3-1. I could see that. That's very doable.
Yeah.
So
hey, hold on. Miss Ash had a little question real quick. What's the top 3 coaching staffs in the NFC?
In the entire NFC?
Yeah.
Top 3?
This will be interesting.
I think it'd be fair. I think it'd be fair to put Mike McCarthy up there.
He gets a lot of flack, but he's the only NFC East coach who has a Super Bowl ring. So I mean, how could we?
I mean, you can't take that away from him.
You can't take it away from them. But Eagles lost both of their coordinators, but I think the Eagles have the best.
Hey, I was just
offensive
gonna say
line.
that, man.
They have the best
That's another
offensive
question.
line coach in the league, though.
So are you talking
Stoutland
about
is
just
the
head
best.
coach or just any coach?
If you're going head coach,
are you talking about head coach or just coaches in the?
I don't know.
I went coaching staff, but
Yeah.
we could go head coach. If we're going head coach, I'm probably going Pete Carroll.
I love Pete Carroll.
Would be one.
Just a motivator, man.
Will we put Sean McVay in there? Is a top 3?
Hell no. What did
he had
win?
one season. He sold his soul to get that.
Yeah. They went out and bought themselves a championship. You guys forget he was the offensive coordinator of the Commanders or the Washington football team. And they couldn't do nothing. It's all about
okay. Well, look, this is what we're gonna do. Top three coaches, but if you're a Dallas fan, you can't use Mike McCarthy, and if we're an Eagle, you can't use Nick Sirianni.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm not gonna say McCarthy's a top 3, but he's good.
I'll reach it for McCarthy.
I'm gonna go Pete. I'm gonna go Pete. I'm gonna go Mike.
Let's see.
That third one hard for me, boy, because I don't know. Shit.
NFC head coaches, man. So you
said
the
hardest
one. We're just going NFC.
Yeah, just NFC. I went Mike Shanahan. I went Pete Carroll. I don't know my third one yet.
I don't know. To me, I think McVay has to be up there only because
you got to put him in there.
No matter how
he's going to win
no
4 games
that
this year, and then what are you going to say?
Well, it is what it is. But
I know
the structure of that team, the way that they've had it, he was a part of that. When you actually go back to what was happening in Washington and seeing when Washington had some success when he was on that staff, that's because of what he was able to bring. Whenever you have a guy like Mike Shanahan out in San Francisco doing his thing and the connection with McVay when they were all under Shanahan over in Washington, those guys have had some success. They know how to put some offenses together. So McVay, to be able to do the things that he had with the quarterback that they had, to be able to at least lead them deep into runs, to be a Super Bowl winning coach himself. His first 5 years having winning records. This past year, that roster, it was going to experience what it experienced because the way that they pieced that team together, saying F those picks, but then also with injuries happening, it is what it is. Like every franchise ends up, well, I can't say every, but most franchises are going to have that 1 year or even 2 year stretch where it looks terrible. We had ours in 2017 when we went, 2015 when we went, 4-12? That's why we were able to get Zeke at pick 4. Philly had theirs, just 3 years ago? Y'all had a pretty, 3 or 4 years ago? And here y'all were then,
4 years ago with the 4-11 season, 4-12.
Right. And then look, y'all have rebounded pretty quickly. So, because your coaching staff, was able to do some.
But that was that year you was talking about, Dom. Remember you said when all the adversity hit? That year we got murdered by the injury bug ourselves. You know who our leading receiver was that year? Greg Ward was our one receiver that year.
Greg Ward, man.
I remember that. I'm just saying at that time, though,
the world
wasn't on Hurts's back,
But it came back to memory that you made comment about the.
So I would say McVay, Shanahan, and Mike McCarthy would be up there in anybody's ranking.
You can't use Mike.
So to me, Shanahan, McVay, and Pete Carroll.
Okay.
That's basically
I like those, bro. Same shit.
So we can't even use Sirianni and McCarthy. I thought you said we couldn't use them one. You're saying we can't bring them up at all?
Nah.
All right. So you want
it's biased. You going initially if you're a fan, you throwing them in there. I mean,
I gotta use Sirianni.
Make it rough. We're gonna make it a little rough. You gotta pick. You gotta go out there and do some research.
I'm not saying pick them one, but if I'm thinking like the top 5 coaches in the NFC, I think that's
now fair. We go 5, then we could throw them back in. But
I
3,
think you got in no particular order. You got Shanahan, Carroll, Daboll. You cannot say that Brian Daboll.
Oh yeah, Daboll.
Sirianni, and McCarthy. those are my top 5 guys. Now you can say, "Oh,
I like that
well,
five. I like that.
like like the Green Bay head coach." Now he hasn't done squat, man. So McCarthy's won a Super Bowl. Sirianni has won a lot in his short time. Man, I remember his first year, he was getting crapped on by his motivational speeches talking about flowers. But you can't argue what the guy's done. Daboll, how can we argue? You saw what it was when he wasn't there. He's turned the team around pretty quickly, and they're a legitimate team. They're not ready, but they're right there. And Carroll, Pete Carroll, the master motivator. We all wrote off Seattle last year. What'd they do?
This is the second time we done wrote them off game time.
I ain't writing that man off again.
Listen, remember when they lost Sean Alexander? And everybody thought he was done, and he went and retooled and bought Russell Wilson and Beast Mode in there in the Legion of Boom. Then he fell off, and now he's rebuilding again. Like,
I mean, you guys, I'm sure everybody's hearing all the push that Detroit Lions are getting. Now they're kind of in that role where now they're expected to win. Last year it was kind of, they're talented, but they never get it done. Well, they stepped up. Now there's a lot of expectations in Detroit. I like that coach, but I'm not putting him in the top 5. We'll see. They just loaded with talent. He's a good motivator, but Daboll actually won a playoff game. Or did he win a playoff game?
Yeah, he beat Minnesota.
Yeah. That's right.
Hey, did Geno Smith win the Heisman?
Doors blowed off at the link, but yeah.
No. Geno played for West Virginia. He did not get it.
Okay.
Hey,
I thought he got that joint.
Hey, quick change of topic, Cole. Cole, you watch college football. You remember Steve Slayton, bro, with Geno Smith? Oh my God, bro.
West Virginia.
Yeah, bro.
He was
West Virginia,
bro.
That shit right there was crazy, bro.
That's how that's how it be crazy. How college football don't always transfer over to NFL. Like these guys, dogs out there in college, just couldn't get it right in the NFL.
DB, who you got as your 3, man? Who you got your top 3 NFC coaches?
Everybody basically said it. Pete Carroll,
Sirianni.
Daboll.
Shanahan or McVay?
Ain't nobody saying Matt LaFleur.
I'm not going McVay.
Matt LaFleur to me, bro. He I don't know. I gotta see him without Aaron Rodgers. I really do. I think a lot of that was Aaron just being like, shut the hell up and sit on the sideline.
Yeah, that he is more of he got Aaron Rodgers than it is Mike McCarthy. I think Mike McCarthy actually made Aaron Rodgers who he is today.
What has Aaron won without McCarthy?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta understand, like people be like trying to dog out Mike McCarthy because how he loved Green Bay. But we fail to realize Mike McCarthy been in the game way longer than Green Bay.
He
was out there with Brett Favre. He was out there with Jerry Rice and them. Like he, what I'm saying? He built with Steve Young, all those guys. Like he was out there.
I'm not here to say McCarthy invented the game, but you know what? Like a sign of a good coach is the Eagles will run through a wall for Nick Sirianni, and I don't even like the man because he walks around in practice saying with a Beat Dallas T-shirt. But
he stopped last year. He said that was childish. He would never do that again.
And I'm just throwing that out there. But I'm still going to give him credit. That's what I want. That's what makes Pete Carroll special. Is Pete Carroll some master technician? No, they will run through a wall for him. These guys love Mike McCarthy. Obviously, the Niners love Shanahan. Now, in saying that, Shanahan is choked in the playoffs. But, I would actually put Sirianni and McCarthy over Shanahan just because of what they've won. But listen, Shanahan's great. He is a great coach. But until, the Eagles will tell you, unless you win in the playoffs, you can't talk. So that's where I look at it. Who's going to play hard for their coach? That's why I had Daboll in this list. Those Giants players love that man. They played hard last year. They weren't that good. But you see now when you, motivate.
They got rid of Gettleman. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
that was the
he
worst.
He had a couple decent drafts that are starting to pay off, but I agree. I agree. I think they got rid of the horrible coach out of New England, the special teamer. What was his name? He was a coach of the Giants, and then he thought it needed Jason Garrett to be the offensive coordinator. That was a disaster. So Daboll, I love him. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
I'm good, man. I feel like I'm running. I'm waiting for somebody else. Go ahead, Dom.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Dom. Get in there.
Yeah.
Don gave his top 3, right?
Yeah, I gave it.
Well, whoever.
Weezy, get in.
Pete Carroll. What's the coach name for the Giants?
Daboll.
Ryan.
Okay, yeah. I'll give him credit too. Even though we beat him 3 times.
But he's a good coach.
He's good. Hey, the dude from Earl McVay, man, went to the Super Bowl.
He did. Remember, he went and they bought themselves a Super Bowl. Yep. Yes, they did.
Hey, you see, Cole, your boy Matt trying to start something.
He bought himself a Super Bowl.
You see what he put up there? The top 3 quarterback.
I like Shanahan too, though.
What about this question right here on the board, y'all?
So we can't include Dak or Hurts in the top.
No, you
so we can't use Jalen.
Like the Dallas fans could use Jalen, but we couldn't use Jalen. And we could use Dak.
Oh wow!
And they can't use Dak. So I'm gonna go. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow.
But he's saying
NFC.
NFC. I'm going. Hold on.
That's
okay.
Tough.
So I'm going. Okay. So I can't use. Okay, I got Dak Prescott.
No, we can't use Dak or.
I can.
You
can.
Okay.
I got Dak Prescott. I got Geno Smith, and I got Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Derek Carr. Look at you. This is a tough one. Go ahead, Dom.
I would say
Jalen
Hurts 1. I would say Kirk Cousins 2.
Oh no. Take Derek Carr back. I got Kirk Cousins. My bad.
That's what I was thinking.
I forgot about Kirk. My bad.
And oh man,
Brock Purdy. Oh no.
No. Jared Goff 3.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah.
DV, get in here, man. Top 3 NFC coaches, quarterbacks. You can't use Jalen.
Older.
Damn.
I would say Kirk Cousins, and I agree. I would say, because people are sleeping on Stafford, but he's not top 3 right now.
I think there's too many. Excuse me.
I was gonna say Geno Smith. You got
Geno's a one hit.
I say Matthew Stafford.
Game time.
Yeah, you guys aren't gonna like my. You ain't gonna like this. I can just see it, and I'm gonna get lit up for this. I'm gonna go Hurts. I'm gonna go Cousins, and this third guy I think is about ready to come on the scene. If I'm building the team, I think he would be in strong consideration. He did a lot. I'm building him up. See, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm building up my guy.
I think I know where you're going.
Come on, man. Give me the. Come on, give me Fields in Chicago.
I knew it.
Come on, man. We saw what he did with no receivers. My man, he really stepped up. I was very impressed. Justin Fields is going to be in my top 3.
I follow too many Chicago people and got family up there. They not feeling it the way you feeling it.
I hear you, but I'm not that close. But
we gonna see.
My list.
I like Justin Fields.
Weezy, what you got, Weezy, for your 3? No Jalen.
Man, Dak.
That was tough. I knew that was tough.
You can hear the pain.
I was showing about to, hey man.
He took a deep
Look,
breath.
It would make it easy because I could just go Jalen, Dak, Cousins. It's over with.
Look, give me Geno, Dak, and hold on. I like Justin Fields too, man.
I'd probably go Geno over Cousins.
I like Justin Fields, man.
But, you know,
Yeah, I'm going with them three.
yeah,
Give
that's
me
a good one.
give me Geno, Justin Fields.
That was my thing. I went with Cousins early,
Dak.
but after seeing
There we go.
Geno,
Coles.
I will go.
it's tough, man. It's tough.
I will go. Let's see my top three: Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford. I'm sorry. I'll do Jalen Hurts. I will put. I'll do Matthew Stafford, and I also put in. And I hate it. It's hard. It's a thin line between Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins, man. That's like pulling teeth, man. Because they both.
They both mid, Pat. They both that good mid, Pat.
Hey, they
Funny, I'm
mid,
gonna
yeah.
have,
Hey, have y'all
Yeah.
seen the quarterback? This quarterback series?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I gotta watch it.
Jared Goff.
DV, you
uncle
seen
over
it?
my
You seen
house
it yet,
in a couple
DV?
weeks.
No, I gotta watch it, man.
That was, hey, listen. Other than episode 8, the series is busting. But to watch Patrick Mahomes beat me again,
That's about us beating
I
it,
would never watch
bro.
it again.
That's why I have not watched it yet, man. Because I know it's gonna be on there.
I can't do
Like,
it.
I gained some respect for Kirk Cousins, bro.
You know what I've learned
You like that?
tonight? One thing I've learned tonight from you guys, and it's kudos to y'all, is that you're very consistent. So your line of thought and your philosophy behind the way you answer things has like a through line. It's followed through this entire night. Because for me, I'm a guy that tends to, I don't try to get too caught up in the moment. I try to think greater context, bigger picture, and I try to project, 2 to 3 years down the line too. When we start like having these kind of debates on who would you rather have, to me, that's that I think of going into 2023 this season, knowing all of what I know about these guys. Who do I want as my quarterback now, but then also moving forward? Like if I would have gone off of the history of what Stafford has done, I would have been like, yeah, Stafford makes this top 3 for me. But what I saw Stafford do last year, and then knowing that Father Time catches everybody and knowing what that team is going to look like too, I'm starting to, come away from him. But then I catapult a Goff because Goff has been pretty, he's been all right
Consistent.
his entire career. He's played on some successful teams, and that Detroit team is coming along. And, this is the year where it seems like, will they finally get over that hump? Well, maybe, probably so. But I'd rather have a Goff, the next couple of years over him. And for me, just having 1 year under your belt of having a good season, that's why I couldn't put Dayball ahead of even Sirianni. I wouldn't put Dayball ahead of Pete Carroll, McVay, any of those type of guys, because they have multiple years of success. It's the same thing where I told y'all at the beginning, like if the question would have been like top 6, 7 quarterbacks or top 5 quarterbacks in the entire league, I wouldn't quite put Hurts there yet because I've seen 1 year. Now, if he put together a second solid season this upcoming year, then I think you start putting him in that top 5 echelon. But so yeah, everybody's line of thought and the way that you've answered stuff, it's followed through. So if you see my answers, that's why it's like Dom is all about consistency over a period of time and then how that will project. That's why I think Jalen Hurts is going to be a solid quarterback for years to come in this league, and he's going to make his way in that top 5. And we're already starting to see in the NFC, man, it's struggling to find top tier quarterbacks. So
Definitely.
you take our 2 guys out the mix, and it's like, Kirk Cousins, all the statistics in the world, can't win when it matters. Same thing our Cowboys have having a problem with. You look at Goff, he went number 2 in the draft, number 1 in his draft class, but yet he went to a great situation, but he's met some adversity, and look what he's doing with with Detroit. So I got to give him some props there.
Is Kirk Cousins really that bad in primetime games?
He is.
See,
I've heard his record is like, is it 7-10, 8-10, something like that?
It's worse than that.
It's worse than that, man.
Let me see.
He can't get it. Like,
Okay. Right here, his record with the Vikings is 7-10.
Yeah, overall in his career.
It's not even including Washington. What I'm looking at right here, it's just 7-10 with the Vikings alone. They're not even including Washington.
Last year we beat them.
Yeah, his record is 10-18 according to StatHead.
You like that?
That means he's 3-8.
So
that means he's 3-8
on Monday nights. On Monday nights, he's 2-10. On Thursdays, he's 3-4, and then on Sunday nights, he's 4-4.
Oh my Lord!
But y'all want to compare him with Dak, though.
Yeah, right.
Y'all should be.
I'm gonna have to take my Kirk Cousins back. I can't take that. I take it back.
Y'all can't call
Weezy got me saying Cousins, but whatever. Well, it's over with now.
Yeah.
It's in the books.
What's funny is Dallas often plays a lot of primetime type games and stuff, and so it shows that Dak. This don't seem quite right.
Regina has a point. He might be averaging in prime time, but he is rich.
Man, he committing highway robbery when it comes to them Vikings.
What did the Washington Redskins pay him when they taxed in those 2 years? What did they end up paying in total?
It was
a whole bunch.
His cap hit is enormous, man. Like he's stealing. He is robbing the Vikings
for years.
He was robbing the
Gina Green, but he's rich. Yeah, you got that right.
He got that money. He got the money for sure.
Yeah.
All
he
right,
made
boys,
like
we did it.
$44 million in 2 years with Redskins on those tags, I believe.
He just know how to get the money. That's one thing about him. He know how to get that check.
$141 million.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, he knew how to play the system, man. He kept taking them 1 year deals, deals under the franchise. He made $50 million 1 year.
But hey, man, it's been another episode of When Enemies Clash. So before we get up out of here, man, everybody go around, let the people know where they can find you at, and we're gonna get up out of here, man. So we're gonna start with Weezy, and then Dom, King, Game Time, then me and Cole.
I just want to say thank you for putting me on, cuz. Let me on here with y'all. Talk football. You can find me on YouTube. Weezy the Dreaded Eagle. That's all I got.
So right here on the screen is my Twitter handle at Dom W. White. I'm one of the staff members with Pick Six Sports. And so we're a grassroots group of guys who all are devoted and, fans of the Cowboys, but we try to stay balanced. And they brought me on primarily because of years where I put information out about the draft. So I consider myself Mr. Draft Guy. And it's just not a Cowboys-centric draft talk. Any of the 32 teams or any of the other 31 teams could be able to follow my content to show the pros of these guys as they're coming out. And my goal is always to put information out where if a mom or a dad or a family member of that prospect were to see it, they'd be proud of it. So I don't use words like garbage and trash and any type of talks. Like none of us used any of that tonight about any players on our teams because these guys have made it to the league to a level where, we all would have dreamt of, making it. So if anybody is garbage, it's the people like us who didn't make it. So that's what I try to do. And so just follow me on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We also have our YouTube channel. So follow us, give us some likes, and then I'll be following you guys shortly after we get off this.
Yeah, likewise.
BV.
You could just follow me here, King DV Sports, on YouTube. Man, I have a lot going on. Tomorrow we got the Birds of Borough Street. I'm part of that clique with Smitty. Also, me and Smitty on Wednesdays, we do have our Inside the Desk. at 7 o'clock. So on Wednesday. So you can follow me. If you just want to keep up with the Eagles, you want to hear some real content about the Birds. Also on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm on there too at King TV Sports, all one word. And I appreciate y'all having me. It's been a good conversation. Nothing too crazy, but it was a good conversation. And I hope we could just do this again.
Game time.
Yeah, man. You guys can find me. I'm really hitting it hard on YouTube. At Game Time Brian. It's I think Coles has it on here, but yeah, just look me up, Game Time Brian. I do a lot on Twitter. I like to stir the pot on Twitter. It's Game Time _Brian. You can reach me on Facebook, Game Time Brian, and if anybody wants to email me, it's GameTimeBrian@gmail.com. I'm getting into the Instagram, but you know how that works with the whole video. I got to talk to my boy DMV. How to actually post a video to Instagram. It's kind of like a little weird, but yeah. Look for me. Me and my partner, Primetime Phil. We have a channel. We go live every Saturday nights. So this Saturday night, look for us at Primetime Phil, brought to you by Primetime Studios. And I'm doing a lot on my channel, my personal channel, which is Game Time Brian, man. I look forward to and hopefully coming back on here during the season and chopping it up at you boys, man. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Well, you can find me on YouTube, 4133 the podcast. My TikTok is in construction right now because people been telling me I need to get there. I'm on Twitter at SmittyEagle373. Yeah, man, y'all like, comment, subscribe, share. You know what I'm saying, and stay tuned, man, because the content coming is getting to that point where it's not going to be slow season anymore. So if you're looking somewhere to get your good content, you got 6 people on this panel. If you're a Cowboys fan, you got 3 up top. You're an Eagles fan, you got 3 down bottom. Y'all follow, man. We coming with good content. We keep bringing bangers. And if you hit the subscribe button and you hit that bell, the next time you see these 6 up here like this again, you won't miss it. You'll be here. Because when enemies clash, man, it's a thin line between love and hate. So you'll be here to witness what's going on. If y'all was here, y'all seen the chat. The chat was having a good time, man. It's Cowboys, Eagles. We know how to make this a safe place, man, for everybody to come and join together, man. So we appreciate all y'all. And, hit the likes, hit the subscribe, comment. We'll be back again, man. Coles, take us out of here.
Oh, yeah. Hey. I appreciate everybody coming on, man. This was a good conversation. We talking over our teams. It's gonna get nasty this season, man, because
it will, man.
It's a lot to play for, but it's good that we can all come out here talking peace. We be glad.
It helps everybody, man. I think it helps everybody to get together and do this.
Yeah. And
people like, I don't want to go on a Cowboy, the content creator. Sure. That's not how it works, man. No. It works good when everybody gets together and gets their point off. We ain't gonna agree. We ain't always gonna agree, but that's what makes it good.
Exactly. I agree. And just to answer Twitter, you can find my guy Dom with Pick 6 Sports. They gonna when y'all lunching out. When y'all gonna launch the first episode?
We hit some unfortunate stuff the last week with just family situations, funerals and travel, and so we were planning on kicking this new season off 2 weeks ago, but those things happened the last 2 Friday nights. So we normally go Friday nights around 8 o'clock and then just run it. And then our guy Nix, if you ever on Twitter, go follow at your guy Nix, because he's always running a Twitter space. And then after the spaces, he'll have people go over to the YouTube page, but the spaces allow people just to talk. And then you get some good topics out of that too. So follow us on Twitter, Pick 6 Sports. Follow me, Dom W. White. But then also on YouTube, we have our Pick 6, the number, 6 Sports.
Yeah.
Hey, I just followed everybody on the panel, man, and I wasn't already
following. Do that too.
That's what's up, man. But yeah, hey, look out for us in future shows. Like I said, training camp is coming around the corner. We're gonna be launching out some videos on all different platforms on this different channels on this platform. Also, I don't know about y'all, but me and King, I know King D, you be doing your live streams. You're gonna do some live streams for the Eagles, right? Eagle games, correct? I'm gonna do some. I know me and Game Time Brown, we was talking about it. Tune in because those live streams, we're gonna do a play-by-play for these games. I'm planning on doing some preseason games. It might be boring, but we can try to make it exciting at the same time. So that's something to look forward to. Anybody else got anything to say before I close this thing out?
The only thing else I gotta say real quick, guys, I am going to the Hall of Fame with Mark Holmes. As a matter of fact, he just called me. I got to go as soon as we get off here. I got to call him. I'm going to be bringing stuff on the road to Canton, and when we get there, we're going to do a couple live streams. So just look out, man. Cool. We got the stuff coming. That's why I just got my D Ware jersey. Hopefully, I can get it signed. Looking forward to it, man.
A quick run through.
I just followed. I just followed you too.
Hey, quick run through because we never got to it. What do y'all think ultimately? Like, what is your prediction for your team's season? So for me, I think Dallas will probably go 11-6.
That's what I said.
And then finally get to the NFC East Championship game. And I gotta be a homer. I can only have hope and faith. I think we're gonna be Super Bowl champs.
So,
I got us going 14-3. I also got us in the NFC Championship game. The reason I got the 14-3, Dom, is I know everybody said we're gonna take a step back. I feel like last year, if Jalen Hurts don't get hurt, we go 15-2. So I am taking a stab at the step back, but I have us in that 14-13 win season. It's gonna be a lot harder though, so I can see us taking those steps back, trying to figure things out early.
So, hey, we're gonna see. There's gonna be some great stuff to come back to, by the way. But that's what makes this game fun. Well, hey, I appreciate it.
I got us. Oh, my fault. I got us. Yeah, I got us going 13-4. Do think that with a little bit of a tough schedule and after the bye, I think one of those games we dropped. One of them games that we're overlooking. And then also, we're going to put ourselves in the position that we don't really need that last game. So that's a loss right there. I think 13-4 will win the NFC again. I think that, it would solidify us as NFC championship back-to-back for the first time since the last time that we did it. So, I'm just excited to see, what unfolds, especially with all this new Georgia, championship going through the organization and also showing the side and then, seeing what Brian Johnson does because, he does have that relationship with Jalen Hurts, but at the same time, he got to put this thing together as well, especially with DeAndre Swift being there.
Game time and Weezy, and then we're going to get up out of here.
I'm good.
I think Game Time said 11-6, didn't he?
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, you're talking about? Okay. I'm sorry. I was trying to find you guys and subscribe. Yeah, I did my preliminary. It's come on. It's like we're trying to do it now, but that's what we do. I have Dallas, winning 11. This is one of those deals where we win one less game, but I think we're going to be a better team, and a lot has to do with schedule. I think 11 wins. I'm really not concerned with it. I think that gets you in the playoffs, and I'm more concerned with how we're playing and our health going into the playoffs. That's where I'm at. Hopefully we win more, but I think with the new offense and being very ultra conservative, I'm going to go 11, and I think I'm setting myself up to be happy because I think we're going to do better than that. But gun to the head, I go 11.
13-4.
13-4.
Okay. Yep.
12-5.
We're gonna win. We're gonna win the championship, bro. We're gonna be NFC champs again. And watch.
What about Super Bowl?
Oh shit, man! I don't
y'all
know.
Gotta win it. Y'all
we gotta win.
Get that far again.
Listen, if we go to the Super Bowl and lose, I'm gonna tell like a Buffalo Bill.
Yeah, bro, if we go back and lose,
And
It's
it
gonna
gets
be bad
harder,
business.
right? It gets harder every time you get back to the Super Bowl and not win. Just ask Buffalo. They should have won the first one against the Giants. They choked it up. Norwood missed a field goal. And then every year it's like, oh, you lost. See, how you guys going to get it? Just mounts on your shoulders. If you're going to win, you need to do it this year.
Yeah, for sure.
That's my opinion.
And all y'all work out. Start working out. All y'all.
Oh, Cole, we're gonna close with this right here, man. We're gonna close with this right here.
Go
Hey,
ahead.
man, you know, lately I've been off my rocker. You know, I've been going through a little bit. But mental health, man, if y'all got somebody out there y'all ain't talked to in a while that y'all love, you might just be out of contact. Reach out to them, man. Just tell them you love them. Because you don't know what somebody going through. And people doing things that you would never expect of a person when they're going through mental health. So y'all just reach out, call them, text them, just tell them you care about them, man, and just make sure they all right, man. And with that, man.
My boy Smitty, man, how you going, bro?
Man, hey, listen. How can I not be going well after the draft?
Red League Beats.